Welcome back. It is still Ac Arena. It's the VR League brought to you by Intel live from the ESL studios in Cologne. We just had our first match finish. It was Gamma versus Aftershock. Fortunately, Gamma lost, Aftershock win.
Yeah, Aftershock's still one of our veteran teams, so not too much of a surprise that we see them moving forward. Gamma still have a chance to qualify, though, so we don't want to count them out just yet, as that is still the focus of tonight's event, is seeing which out of 4 of the teams that could still qualify will be the ones to actually qualify, as we only have 2 slots remaining here through the stage finals. Yeah,
the last slots before we go over to the last chance qualifier, so it is nearly the last chance. But not yet the last chance, since it's last chance qualifier. Yeah, making it as complicated as possible. That's exactly my role here. Super easy to do. But it was easy. Aftershock won against Gamma. Let's have a quick look at the brackets so we know where we are right now here on today's evening. There we go. So Blast 1-2. Against Smash Dash, Gamma and Aftershock. We saw that match that went 2-0 for Aftershock. And it's Backlash Team Flux. That might be the first surprise here, I would say. Team Flux is already qualified, right?
Bit of a closer match there, so it's not actually too surprising considering both those teams are on relatively even footing. It would have been obviously a much bigger deal if we saw Gamma beat Aftershock, for instance, or even Smash Dash taking down Blast there. That one would have been a huge surprise, actually. So Backlash taking out Team Flux is actually a big boost for them because now it's pushed Backlash one step further, and depending on who they end up against, if they lose to Team Gravity, then that could potentially allow them to already be qualified. We don't want to call that just yet, though, as there is still the chance for things to work out the other way. But here is the other match that we still have now. Gamma and Smash Dash, Ducks Quack, and Team Flux will also play each other.
Now that will be the loser bracket, and we're into the next match. It is Smash Dash versus Gamma, so we are with the loser bracket right now. And it starts off with a goal for Ambient. That is Gamma going 2-0 right after the start. Obviously, someone has to start with the goals, so that wasn't really the best entry line I ever had. But it is Gamma scoring first. Let's see how this match evolves with Smash Dash. Both teams lost the first match, both coming off a loss against another team. So let's see if they can recover from that and come back strong.
So that's actually a pretty quick goal, too. I would have liked to see how the actual joust would have worked out there. But 10 seconds to score. That's very quick. So a good start for Gamma.
Every day, man.
And we're going to see them actually get a nice interception here, too, after Smash Dash tries to go for a quick push over towards Gamma's side of the arena. It won't work out. It's a nice release from Gamma as well. Puts it very close to the goal, and if this player can get in a position quickly enough, he might be able to do it, but he's having some trouble scrambling for control of the disc. Him and that player from Smash Dash just fighting for control over it. His other teammates from Gamma are going to be jumping into the fight to try and grab it themselves here. Denials, passing it over to Ambient, who then passes it back to Vanisher, who's now going to try to send it forward into the hands of Ambient once again. And with that, it will score, giving another goal over to Gamma. This one scored by Denials, putting them up to 4 over Smash Dash.
A lot of short passing there, and compared to the first qualifier with Jason back then, I don't see the backboard being used as often as it was back then. Is there like a change in strategies? Is there something I missed?
No, I think right there in that exchange, we're just seeing more like direct fighting happening between the two teams, or a little bit more like direct contact over the disc. So teams aren't really, what are they doing there? Teams aren't really going to be messing around too much with trying to use the backboard, since it's not as clean of a shot. They'll probably just end up going for direct goals because it's a little bit chaotic in that situation. It's very hard under that type of pressure to try and go for a precision shot off the backboard. It's not the easiest thing in the world to pull off.
That's why it's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Very true.
But it is 4 points on the side of Gamma and 0 so far for Smash Dash. They need to get back into the game right now before they let Gamma just lose and let them run away. Long shot here by Gamma just to bring the disc over onto the opposing side. Vanisher picks it up. Might have a chance to pass it to Denials if you wish to do so. Rebek 08 is already waiting in the goal. There's another cross pass, but Ambient missing that one. Disc all the way back to the mid.
It's not going to stay in the middle, though. Gamma are able to keep control of the disc over in Smash Dash's side of the arena. And they're very slowly floating up inside of the 3-point bubble. Gets set loose. Not exactly sure what the intended target was there for Gamma, but it ends up in Ambient's hands. He's now going to send it forward. He gets punched out, though, so he's not going to be available for an immediate pass back if that becomes necessary. Some nice aggressive action coming in there from Vanisher. Knocks out one of the Smash Dash members. Another pass over to Ambient, and he'll secure it again here for Gamma, as now they're up to 6 over Smash Dash. A convincing lead for them. It's not looking like Smash Dash, unfortunately, has brought a whole lot of heat back just yet to be able to try and keep this match close.
Yeah, possession definitely higher on the side of Gamma, but also I have to say it's not really clear what they do in front of the goal. They have the position, they got the disc in their hands, but they're not that overwhelming right now on the side of Smash Dash, because otherwise they would have scored way quicker than that. They had some missed passes, not really finding their targets so far, so there is a chance for Smash Dash to have a comeback, just because scoring a goal on Gamma's side seems not to be that easy right now.
Well, here's going to be a good opportunity for Smash Dash. They end up in a 1v1 versus the goalie on Gamma. Doesn't work out. However, someone else will pick it up, and it's actually going to end up being Sendo Target. That secures the first one for Smash Dash, and it's a range goal. It's outside of the bubble, so it'll be a three-pointer. One more of those, and they're right back in the game already.
Cut the lead in half of Gamma. That was a great one there. It was pretty quick. They had the first shot, missed that one, but this got back to Sender targeted and went for the long shot there. I think it was Rift Ninja who had the first attempt, but it did not really pay off for him. But Smash Dash scored. That's the important part. 3 and 6. They're still in the game.
I didn't get a chance to check out the minimap, but I was curious what was happening with Gamma's other two defenders there, because it just seemed like their goalie was sitting pretty much alone trying to defend that disc right there. So unfortunately, there was not a whole lot that Gamma could have done to stop that goal from happening. A bit of a mistake from their two offensive players. I guess they just weren't close enough to each other, or that or someone from Smash Dash might have run interference from the other side. They're going to quickly make up for this, though, and they do just that. Another two-pointer, another out-positioning goal as they get a quick pass over to their teammate, who sinks it in for 8 total points now on Gamma's side. Smash Dash, unfortunately, yet to find that response past the goal they just scored, so they're still down at 3.
Yeah, I think we can name that a quick response, like a really quick answer to that goal of Smash Dash. When Gamma just went over there, make sure they have control of positions and possession, obviously really moving around the goal quickly and very good. As we can see, they scored a goal, so Smash Dash has to find a way of blocking that. So far, we did not see them intercepting any passes. There have been some missed passes by Gamma, but Smash Dash was never fast enough. Look at that long shot going over the iron. That was a chance there for Smash Dash for another 3-pointer. Fortunately, that did not really work, and now once again, Gamma being in possession of the disc. Yeah, they are. Vanisher 55 is on it, throwing over the disc. Unfortunately, clipping one of the islands. That doesn't really help.
Vanisher is going to try to go off the diamonds at the back, though it won't work out. It's a miss off the left triangle, and so that will keep Gamma in a good position. Now they'll launch forward, looking to maintain possession, but they're even having trouble with that as well. Sendo Target snatches it away again as the disc is sent loose, and it's a mail slot shot from him right underneath the force field into the goal. Another 3-pointer for Smash Dash. They're not scoring a lot, but when they do, it's impactful, and it's kept them close now, 6-8. They could still bring this back because we got 1:45 left in the round.
It was once again Sendo Target, right? I mean, he was the guy that scored the 3-pointer before. It seems like his aim is definitely off the hook for today, really making sure that he hits those long shots, helping his team to stay in the game, because otherwise the scoreboard will be totally different right now.
The hero for the team basically throughout this entire round so far. So it's been big stuff coming out from Sendo Target. It's not enough to bring them back into the game and back into a leading position, more importantly, just yet, however. So they have to fight just a little bit harder here. Vanisher looking to get a quick pass as he was under some pressure there from Sendo Target himself. Denials when I'll take possession, looking to move further up the field. The bounce is going to miss, however, so Vanisher's going to have to try and swing around the island quickly to get back to possession. Won't work out too well. Rift Ninja steals it away from Smash Dash and sends it flying to the other side. Just going to put some pressure on Gamma. In fact, almost ends up bouncing off the diamond and going right in there, but it won't work out. Gamma will get back, but they're not going to get possession. Once again, into the hands now of Ryback 8. He's going to try to secure this, or at least get a passing opportunity to his teammate. Vanisher along with the others from Gamma inside of the zone, but it will not matter. A 2-pointer is scored by Smash Dash regardless, and they are now tying it up at 8-8.
Finally, they intercepted that one pass and turned it into an attempt to score a goal for themselves, and they did so even after some, let's say, missed opportunities there. But that's the important part. Get the missed passes by Gamma. Make sure that you intercept them, get the disc, throw it onto the other side, and then start actually attack at the goal of Gamma, because they have a chance here, and they're now equal. It's 8-8. They tied the match up. That was super important. Still roughly a minute on the clock, so there will be enough for both teams to actually score and to actually create that lead. Vanisher has the disc right in front of the goal, tries for the backboard, did not really work. Ryback back in position off the desk, launches to the middle. Currently there's no one, there's only a player off the side of Gamma. It's Ambient that makes sure that the disc stays on the side of Smash Dash, giving another chance to Vanisher here.
You're going to see Vanisher moving himself forward. Denials as well, picking one up. It's a nice passing routine for Gamma. And with it successfully leading into a goal for them, it will also get them back to lead. Not leaving a whole lot of room for a response from Smash Dash. Only 33.9 seconds, 0.09 seconds, excuse me, left on the timer there. So they're going to have to come out of the gates with fire and fury and hope that it will be enough to get them to the other side of the arena and score again to take this into OT, or if they can get a three-pointer outright win.
Yeah, they need to get Sender Target on target once again with that long shot. He could make it happen for sure, but beautiful passing by Smash Dash. They really are good on communicating with each other, making sure that right in front of the goal, their passing is on point, even if they struggle a bit in the mid-game. Now, Ryback 08, he wants to make it happen for his team. They are all launching on the side of Gamma. They got another 20 seconds, sending it over. A missed pass there. Might Sender Target gets on it. Yeah, he does. Gets stunned there, I think, or at least lost the disc. Denials got on it, and now it is the wrong way for Smash Dash. If they want to win map number one, game number one basically here, or match number one, then they need to score a goal right now. Got another second to go. This will not happen. Round is over. 10 points for Gamma, 8 on the side of Smash Dash, giving map number one to Gamma.
The delay tactic works at the end for Gamma, giving them and allowing them rather to hold that 2-point lead at the end of it, putting them up now 1-0 in this series. They do that one more time and they will move forward. We have to see how the upper bracket works out for the team that did manage to win a match up there, but nearly now as well if they take the second round, guaranteeing them a slot in the regional, which of course has that lead up to the Oculus Connect Grand Finals.
But we're not there yet. It's just 1-0 in that match. And seeing what happened, how Smash Dash actually got back, obviously a lot was on Sender Target. He was the one scoring the long shot goals, scoring the 3-pointers for them. If they manage to get him into play a bit more, there is a chance. On the other hand, I really have to say passing is stronger on Gamma's side, at least in front of the goal, in terms of possession of the disc in front of the goal. Looks more controlled than Smash Dash when they're attacking, but they got those long shots.
Much higher capability, I think, for the guys on Gamma, excuse me, to make plays, so to speak, to like quickly get something together, get their teammates to set up a passing routine, and then lead that into a quick 2-pointer for them. Whereas we're not seeing that as much from Smash Dash. It seems more so that they're one star player getting away with some nice positioning and then a few very nice shots as well. But the problem is you can't rely on that. There's no way you're going to be able to consistently pull off shots like that, and we saw that towards the end of the game, where unfortunately they went back to what we were seeing a lot of back within the first minute or two of the round there, where they were just unable to really find any decent footing at all to score.
Yeah, they need a stronger start on the side of Smash Dash to make sure that they got a chance against Gamma. And obviously, they need to find a solution, something against that quick passing right in front of their goal. Obviously, they need more interceptions when Gamma is actually passing, because sometimes they miss their target, especially when they're a bit further away from the goal, it seems like. Outside of the 3-point bubble, basically, all the passes there, I would say it's roughly 50% where they hit the target. That is the chance for Smash Dash to find a way in scoring and find a way back into this game.
Well, we can see here now that the players are getting themselves... Actually, it looks like it's already started once again. And Gamma has been first on the board once again as well with a quick 2-pointer. Obviously, this one taking a little bit longer than the one that we had in the previous round, only taking them 10 seconds before this one taking about 50. But still, it's put Gamma on the board nice and early, and will allow them to maintain the lead and put immediate pressure back on Smash Dash to find a response goal for themselves.
Yeah, but every goal they do without Smash Dash scoring a goal, just as an answer, it will get harder for them. There will be more pressure. It will be harder to get focused and straight onto the target. Like that Rift Ninja with a chance. There was an attempt, but didn't really score. Ambient got the disc in the end, launching it off of their sides, making sure that this goes all the way over to Smash Dash goal. And they're picking it up Denials in front of an open goal with Ambient. That was an easy one, doing it 5-0.
Nice, quick clear coming out there, more importantly, from the guys on Gamma. And that just, again, shows more experience compared to Smash Dash, but how they were able to quickly get together a 2-man launch team to put a slingshot together and send them to the other side, capitalizing on that clear disc and then scoring it just a few moments later. Unfortunately for Smash Dash, their slingshot, if they were even trying to establish one, was nowhere to be seen, so they never even get close to getting back in time. It's just a nice, easy 3-pointer for Gamma to secure the 5-0 lead. Look at them there. They're bouncing with excitement. And the launch gate there as the next round begins.
Let's see if Smash finally gets their name onto the scoreboard. It is Ryback 08, possession of the disc, but not even halfway through the arena yet. That was a long one. Did he really aim for it? No, he aimed for Rift Ninja. Rift Ninja had the open goal, unfortunately missed it there because he still had the force field right in front of him. It wasn't easy to get through there, but picking the disc up again, getting it to Ryback. Let's see if they bring in Sendo Target. I had luck so far with his long shots, moving all around the goal there on the back, waiting for a chance to have that pass. They do. Rift Ninja is in possession, gets stunned by Vanisher, picking up the disc, destroying their attack.
It's a great steal right there. Smash Dash did have Gamma surrounded a little bit. There was a good opportunity for them to score, but that nice steal from Gamma puts them back into control of this situation. And look at that. Vanisher flying in, steals the disc right out of the hands of Smash Dash, and secures another quick goal for Gamma, putting them up 7-0 over Smash Dash. About 2 out of 5 of the minutes gone.
Even with 2:53 still on the clock, see that this will be actually a big mountain to overcome for Smash Dash. So far, they didn't score a single goal, and Gamma seems to be in control of this match. Obviously, they're also up by 1 already in the BO3. So if they win this one here, Smash Dash is eliminated on the loser bracket. That will help Gamma a lot in terms of getting into the finals, getting into the world finals, so then qualify for Oculus Connect. They have it here in their own hands, and they could do it right now, here with Ambient onto Denials.
Nice.
Seems like Gamma is building up the next one. Long shot that will not get onto the target, but they have another shot. Look at that. They're just throwing it onto the other side, making sure that they're quick, chain each other up to get more speed, to get the disc, and then score the next goal.
The impressive part there wasn't necessarily the goal that got put together by Gamma, but more Denials, who juked his opponent very quickly after he got possession. There was a loose disc for a moment, but if he caught it, he quickly grabbed it and then grabbed an island that was behind him. He used the pressure on the island to swing himself down further in the arena, away from an opponent who could have very easily stunned him if he stayed in the same position. Then at that point, had safety, could go for a very long clear, as well as other teammates to go for the slingshot to the other side and secure another quick goal. Now at 9-0 over Smash Dash. Surely looking like Smash Dash may be eliminated here soon if they don't bring themselves together quickly.
Yeah, it will be a hot and tough challenge right now so far. We didn't saw them scoring ones in this one. It's once again Ambient with a steal, making sure that possession is with Gamma right now. It's a long shot, but that's more of trying to get the disc out of their own zone, making sure that Smash Dash doesn't have an easy job of getting it. Rift Ninja was close there. Nope, it is Vanisher 55 that got position off the desk. Now looking for a chance. He could try to score there, but went for the pass down low. Still in possession, looking good for Gamma.
Good for Gamma indeed, but they do have to get past the defensive setup this time. That's what their player in the back is going to look to accomplish. However, the pass does not go towards him. He, in fact, just got stunned out from the looks of things. Or no, actually, he gets a successful counter by defending himself, but they just can't seem to actually get themselves close enough to secure the goal. So eventually the disc does get sent loose. A great clear from whoever threw it on Smash Dash, by the way. It goes directly to the other side, inside of Gamma's own 3-point zone. But now Gamma themselves left uncontested for about a good 3 to 4 seconds there. Left them enough time to send it right back to the other side. And once again, you could just see that's the superiority and the speed with which Gamma is able to get together their slingshots compared to Smash Dash, who's taking much longer to cross the field in its entirety here.
Well, that's true. They're moving quicker to the desk and getting the position, but right now it's only a bit more than a minute on the clock, and still it's a lead of 9 points here by Gamma. So even if Smash Dash now starts to finally find the rhythm and finally find the focus to score goals, it will be a hard one, but this does not look like this will ever happen in this matchup.
No, it's not looking like it. Even when we see Smash Dash getting close to scoring, Gamma's been very good at delaying them for either an extended period of time before they scored, if we go back to the first round, or just eventually clearing it, as we've seen every time so far here in the second round. In fact, Gamma might be scoring one more time. They've got themselves a lineup for it. They want to make it, oh, never mind. I was about to say they want to make it a 3-pointer, but Vanisher stops that. The nice reach from Vanisher, though, playing keep away with his opponent. That's, again, a nice little aspect of this game where the physicality of individual players does come into play. If you have a longer arms than your opponent and they grab onto you, you can quite literally play keep away with them by just extending your arms and keeping the disc out of their reach. And we saw an example of that right there as Gamma scores another 2-pointer, up to 11 now, and I think it's a safe bet to say that they've got this game pretty much in the bag.
I would be so surprised if that turned it around now.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking about 27 seconds.
We've approached
with
the
launch.
physical impossibility
Yeah,
factor.
I think we're there at the point of no return, basically.
And they need at least 4 goals, and they would all have to be 3-pointers for them to win. Just not really enough time for that to happen, especially considering the first time they would score, it would go the other way. But hey, there's one.
It doesn't. That is the 3-pointer. We jinxed it. This will happen now. Send a target that will launch there every single time. Do the 3-pointer. Win this match. I will go crazy. Just go home after this one because comeback is way too strong for me.
Very optimistic. However, it's still going to be very tough. Because here's the problem now. Gamma is going to start with possession. And they could just
Never mind. Send a target will do it.
And they can just send the disc wherever they want. They can literally just throw it to anywhere on the arena. Smash Dash has no way of predicting where it's going to go. So if they pull off even one more goal, I would be impressed. But yep, there's the clear. You could see Smash Dash jetting across the arena there to try to get to it as quickly as possible, but it just was not quick enough. Down to less than 5 seconds. It's going the way of Gamma, ladies and gentlemen. It is not going to be a perfect game, but it will be a dominant one at 11-3 and 2-0. Once again, Gamma will push forward further into the bracket of their opponents. We'll have to say bye-bye to them a little bit early, as they will be one of the first teams here tonight to be eliminated.
And I have my fan writings ready for Sendo targeting, going full fat boy mode, like Sendo. But it was a bit too late. At least he scored for his team, so they're not without any goal in the second match. But it was a bit way too late to get them back in the match. That means, said it already, Smash Dash, they're eliminated from the bracket. On the side, lose the bracket. Gamma will stay with us, so they're still keeping their hopes alive for that ticket to the World Final. All that, more VR action, more Arena, right after the break.
One city, one stage, one trophy, one champion.
And another kill to find Fallen.
One moment. ESL 1, New York, 2018.
Skybox. Stairs.
Nothing great ever happened without a witness.
Oh, you guys saw that?
With the power to capture comes the need to share.
Check this.
Followed by the eyeballs and loud mouths chomping at the bit.
That was nuts.
The fate of the game rests in your hands.
Check this out. No.
Oh my God.
Leave nothing to chance. Game, record, and stream without compromise. Only on Intel Core i7.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Welcome back. VR League, 2 games in the books for tonight's Acker Arena Stage 3 finals here. We saw just how Gamma blasted off and made sure that Smash Dash is out of this totally eliminated, humiliated part of the map, I have to say as well.
Yeah, I'm putting them in good straight. How to fix that real quick? Yeah. Putting them in good straights to try and qualify as well. It's just again a bit of the focus for tonight. We're trying to see which of these teams is still going to be moving forward. We've already got a majority of like our top tier EU teams qualified into the regionals, and now it's about seeing who else is going to be jumping into the pot with them when we get to the regionals in just a few weeks' time.
Now let's have a quick look at the bracket after we had the 2 first matches of the evening. We went from this, basically. We started Blast and Smash Dash. They went down to loser bracket. That was the match we just saw. Blast lost against Aftershock. Yeah, I mean, we saw Aftershock. We saw Gamma versus Aftershock. So I'm not really surprised seeing them to win again. And down low, Backlash versus Team Gravity. They're not done yet.
Bit surprising to see Blast dropping a match so early, though. Against Aftershock, it's a fair match, I would say, because those 2 teams have been close to each other for a long time. But I thought Blast had sort of pushed ahead of them recently, so it's probably a bit of a unfortunate defeat for them. But they're more than likely going to be looking to bounce back strong, even against Team Flux. I would still say they've got pretty good odds to come back, make it all the way to the lower bracket final. And we're really just going to have to wait and see if that'll be the case, basically.
Yeah, Flux eliminated Duck's Quack, and then now in the matchup against Blast, that's exactly the match we will jump in just some seconds to see how they do. You said that already. It's a bit surprising that they lose against Aftershock. Aftershock had a great first match. That's the match we started this show with. So it seems like they're on a run. They're really doing a good job, and they just ran over Blast as well. But Flux and Blast, You saying it will be Blast winning it?
I would say pretty safe victory for Blast. If we see their opponents take it, I will be very surprised. But here we go. We're getting started now. So Team Flux, if they're ever going to prove themselves, this will be the opportunity. Like I said, both these teams have already qualified to my knowledge. So this is not as much on the line besides money for these two teams. However, still pushing it further, getting a little bit of cash take home is not a bad thing either. So we're going to see if Blast can hold their reputation to them, or if Flux is going to look for a little bit of an upset here.
Yeah, Flux had the first 2 attempts, at least the attempts we saw. Unfortunately, they didn't score at all, hitting the iron ones, missing it slightly on the first attempt. Now it's going the other way around for Blast. Blast might have a chance here and score, and not an early goal, but scoring the first goal for them. They're currently in position. Infinity is on the disc, and he's also scoring the first goal by assists of Lone Gecko, putting Blast up 2-0.
And there we go, picking it up nice and early there for Blast. They are going to be able to push themselves forward, taking control of the opening gambit in this round. Finding themselves a nice, easy 2-pointer to get control of. But now, of course, possession will be shifting to the other side. It's going to be Team Flux jumping in with possession at the start of this round. We'll see how that changes things up, if at all, getting into the next engagement here.
And we'll see if Flux has it early comeback, if they got something to answer to Blast immediately. I mean, they had the first 2 attempts, we saw that, and then they also got possession of the disc here mid-arena, but they're losing it early. No, they're picking it up once again. Great pass by Sinister. He wanted to bring Nilovec in there, and he also scores. Nilovec scores immediately, turning this to 2-2, so they found an answer. They found it quick. Still 4 minutes on the clock, and it's even again.
There we go, tying things right back up. Keeping it close between these two teams. I did notice as well, I think there might be a bit of a fill-in for Blast tonight if I'm looking at things. I'm actually noticing as well there might have been a bit of a roster change that I might have missed in the past couple of weeks while we were covering the Onward action. I'm kind of curious as to where Aftershock went, because I don't see him on this team. There's another player that normally I think we see on this team as well that is not in the server tonight, and that would have been Boop. So instead they have Infinity jumping in for him, I believe.
Yeah, roster changes. We know that happens quite often in the early stages of tournaments. Bringing in a sub, someone is not available, someone can't make it, but that was a quick one. Lone Gecko was just like, guys, really? Just scoring 1 goal to make this even, and we can turn this around real quick. And they did so. That was one long pass of the backboard. Lone Gecko picked it up right in front of the goal, scored easily, no chance for the goalkeeper of Team Flux, and they're trailing once again.
So that will keep Blast in nice control contention, however. Able to still push themselves forward into the money, so to speak, here for tonight's games. But for Team Flux, as we're going to be looking at them, well, the launch gate is going to be opening in a moment, and they'll be able to take possession. So let's see how that opening engagement does go for them. As they're launched out of their tubes, there's going to be an initial pass sent over, but oh, it's sent back, and it's not a clean pass whatsoever. It actually gets sent right into Team Flux's own 3-point area. However, Blast is still going to be trying to contest it as they send their own players forward a little bit here. Trying to keep the disc on this side of the arena to keep things close and comfortable for them so that they can look for another easy goal opportunity. It's not going to be so easy, however. So now it's been picked up by Mr. Scottish Guy, so I love that name. And we are going to see sent loose once again. Attempt to pass it to another one of Team Flux's members is unsuccessful. Good block from Sinister. He's going to try to do it once again. He ends up just in a bare-knuckle brawl with one of his opponents, but because of that, he's lost the plot on the disc. Thankfully, Mr. Scottish Guy will be there to pick it up, however, and he'll try to send it back over the other way, where he's already got 2 teammates waiting.
Yeah, small box fight basically they did, not really going for the disc anymore. As Sinister right in front of the goal. There was a goalkeeper on the side of Blast, but he had no chance against Sinister coming in there, making sure that they even out this game. Once again, we saw like the start was a bit dirty, it wasn't really working for both teams. The disc went back on the side of Team Flux, and Scottish Guy picked it up once again, missed pass opportunities, missing the target. Both teams not really 100% right now.
No, yeah, it's a lot of mistakes. Oh, what's happened here, actually?
Rematch? What did we miss?
Someone from Blast disconnected.
Oh, yeah, we say Lone Gecko and Infinity are there, but they're missing...
ID Lego, I think is you said.
Yeah.
IDY Lego dropped out, so we'll get him back in quickly, folks. Should be able to resume on the scoreline. You can already see the scoreline being set up there. We are going to come back to us for just a second, though, but we should be able to quickly put the scoreline back to where it should have been. That's just a matter of resetting the time properly, and we'll jump right back into the action in just a couple of seconds here, guys.
You know, I was just waiting for, like, if it happens immediately when Blue stops talking, but it did not happen.
Would have been too convenient.
I was really waiting for this. Like, let's see if timing's really...
That would have been a quick reboot on that guy's internet. I'll say that much. That would have been for sure.
Sometimes it surprises. You never know. They can do that super quick.
Yeah, sometimes he's kicked out of games randomly. You ever had that happen? Just, internet doesn't.
You normally get
happened to me
kicked out
last
of
night.
events?
I was playing Rainbow Six.
Yeah. You get kicked off of a lot of games. That is mobbing, man. That has nothing to do with your connection. It's just like, got blues in there
Not
again.
a boot. It's not a boot. I can tell you that much. It does say connection issue, but I don't know what. Internet's fine. I'll alt tab real quick. Google loads. So I don't know what happened. Yeah, it's been happening to me a few times recently.
Hey, see, it's not a connection issue then. If everything else works, then it's basically you getting mobbed out of a game. It's all right. Happens to all of us, really. I was the first time I got kicked from a first-person shooter because people said I'm cheating. I was so happy. It was like I finally managed to get on that skill level where other people say, "Damn, you must be cheating." Kick him.
It's always a good moment, right?
Yeah, I was celebrating that so hard. Yeah, that was better than Christmas. Like, God, I made it.
All right, guys. Well, it looks like the game is ready to go, ready to jump back into the action here. So let's dive back in game and see how close we are. In fact, we're ready to start now. So let's jump right back into it here. Blast still leading at 4-2. They are going to allow for initial possession to go over to Team Flux, as I think we just need to restore a goal really quickly. Yes. Yeah, we just need to get that extra 2-pointer added in for Flux.
Do they wait for it now?
Yeah, so I think it saves the game up to a certain point. But the most recent goal, you normally have to like repeat on your own. So that's what we're doing right there. We've had to do that on LAN as well. So that's pretty normal procedure right there. Just to tie things back up, put it relatively around the same time. And now we can just restart the round and continue as normal with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. And both teams tied. Dead heat between the two of them right now.
We'll see who can jump up front immediately now. Lone Gecko still has 0 steals and 0 points, 0 assists. I think that's the reset.
Yeah, that's the reset.
I was like, man, I definitely saw him doing something in this matchup. Can't be that. He is on 0 right now. But possession is with Team Flux. They're looking good, trying to get an attack going on their side, just launching it off real quick. And, oh, wow, they were even able to get that disc. I was pretty sure they will lose it here. But they didn't. It was Scottish Guy picking up real quick. Sinister scoring as well with the assist by Scottish Guy, putting up Flux by 6. Blast is trailing with 4. And I'm actually a bit surprised because I was pretty sure they lose the disc there.
Yeah, so, I mean, just the fact that Team Flux has, like, a good lead right now is pretty surprising. This is a great fight being put up by Team Flux. Props to them. Granted, Blast, again, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the roster for them right now, since it was a little bit different at the last event we saw them, which was the LAN finals. It looks like there's been some changes since then, and it may be a fill-in for tonight, since we still have Boop on the roster, but he's not present, so maybe he wasn't available for tonight's matches or something like that, and they have Idle Lego filling in. But yeah, it's turned this into a pretty interesting match, and I thought this one was going to be like a clear-cut victory for Blast. That's obviously clearly not been the case. Flux is showing up here, and wow, a nice goal coming off the back diamond. Works out great for Cyanister as it gives Flux another 3-pointer, putting them well ahead now at 9-4 against Blast.
That was beautiful done. I mean, he used the time, he used the backboard there for that long shot. I saw it going in and I was like, oh, wow, that looks close. But then off the backboard into the goal, wow, that was really impressive. And obviously that helps them a lot to build on this lead. They had a small lead of 2 points, and now it is 5 points. It's way more than you normally would see in this matchup, because I thought Blast would just answer immediately like it happened on the previous plays here. But instead, it's Team Flux building on their lead.
Yeah, now we have Blast. Oh, a quick response from Lone Gecko, however. Very well played by him. Gets away with the disc and quickly allows himself to score on an open goal opportunity. Team Flux, bit of a mistake leaving it open, but Blast will capitalize on that. Their own 3-pointer puts them right back into the action at 7-9 now.
I'm just stunned. I was just like, that was so quick. I saw Lone Gecko launching off, and then he just scored the goal so quickly. I mean, still 2 minutes on the clock, a bit more than that, 2-9 right now. Just imagine they would score that quick every single time. What a scoreline we would have.
Plenty of scoring opportunities been presented so far here, and I mean, both teams are capitalizing on it. So, like I said, it just made it a very, very close game. It's really going to go the distance. Could end up going all 3 rounds, which would be the first time we've had that happen tonight. But obviously, still in the first round, we're still a bit of a ways away from that. We could still have some players potentially get winded in the meantime, and that could change the relative performance of the two teams. So we'll have to wait a bit before we make such a bold prediction like that, but I'd say it's likely. So we'll have to wait and see if that will end up being true. Got Team Flux closing in on Blast territory once again. What happened with Blast there? Should have been an easy retrieval for them. They had multiple players floating right around the disc, but no. Flux just floats it right in, sinks another easy 2-pointer, and now we're up to 11-7 again.
It's the second time that we see Blaster in their own bubble, basically floating around like relaxed holidays and not really playing Echo Arena, allowing Team Flux to score again. Seems like they're not really aware and awake right now.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know what was happening with Blaster. Like I said, that should have been an easy block opportunity for them. So something clearly going wrong in that round. So we'll have to hope that that's not going to be a consistent thing, as Blasters are like #1 team in Europe. So we don't want to see and dropping this match this early on and potentially going down to the lower bracket where they could face elimination. To start things off, however, Blast will get possession on the opener. All of his teammates are covered though, so Idol Lego tries to go for a pass. He ends up right in the hands of Cyanister. He's going to throw it, missed, however, as they try to send it over to Nihilwig, but thankfully the bounce plays into his favor, so he'll still pick it up. Up once again to Mr. Scottish Guy. He will not be able to score. Infinity with a nice block in the goalpost there. Keeps it under his team's control, sends it back to the midfield. No real clear though, so it is going to keep it in the hands of Flux. Cyanister picks it up over to Idol Lego, who gets the interception, and now it's back in mid once again as neither team can seem to maintain control of it. A loose disc once more. Lone Gecko trying to float in and steal it away. They do release it. Idol Lego causing some havoc here now. Lone Gecko will pick it up, send it over to Infinity, who's got a great opportunity to try and score. However, that is now passed with the goalie inside of it. A bounce off the backboard, but it is caught by Mr. Scottish Guy. Great reactions from him, and he will as well clear it back over to the midfield.
Yeah, this is going back and forth here right now. Both teams trying to score, not really being successful so far. I mean, it still looks good for Team Flux. The longer they run like that, the more time they run off the clock, the better for Team Flux. Obviously, they could eliminate Blast here. We talked about that already. It is the loser bracket. If they win both matches, then Blast is out of this. And currently one of the best teams, or the best team in Europe. But they're struggling a bit with Team Flux. And Flux is trying their best to keep the scoreline like that. Last 5 seconds. Seems like Blast won't have a chance here anymore to even out that match. It is Mr. Scottish Guy in possession of the disc at the end. Is 11-7 for Team Flux, putting them up 1-0 to Blast right now.
And props to Team Flux. Very well, very nice competitive game for them. Decent amount of mistakes, to be fair, though, being made by Blast. I don't really know what was going on with them, but we're going to have to hope that they can quickly make up for that. That's a heartbreaking defeat going down 0-1 here so far, even with the fill-ins there. They're going to have to hope that they can make up for that very quickly as we head into the second round.
They still have a chance. They could drag that onto the third match, basically. But for that, they need to win the next one. And seeing how the game evolved, it seems to me, at least, at the beginning of the match, they have been way stronger. And the longer the match kept going, the stronger Flux was compared to Blast.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe, if I assume this is a fill-in, which again, I'm going under that assumption, right? I don't know for sure. But if we go under the assumption that is a fill-in coming in for the guys on Blast right now, then looking at this, they could be running into issues where their strategies aren't necessarily like fully aligned. Like the Idol Lego, if he's the fill-in, they might not be like as well versed on the strategies compared to if they had Affenterre or someone else on the team right now. So that could be the problem that they're running into. Is they're just not like, they're not as cohesive as a team as they normally would have been.
But Idol Lego, I think I remember that name from the first qualifier we did back then here in the studio, and when we started Echo Arena again in season 2. So he's not unknown to me, at least.
He's definitely a good player. I'm not trying to send flack towards any individual player here. It's just more that the group may have not been playing together for so long, and that's the cause of the issues right now. Is they're just not as used to each other's play styles as a more versed team would have been. And we see that once again. Team Flux, again, massive props to them for being able to pull this off so far. Starts things off with the opening goal, shooting up 2-0 here.
Now that was a quick start once again for Flux. Obviously, they tried to just start again or keep going at the same rate they were going in the previous match. They won that one. They want to keep that up. They want to make sure that they put Blast in their place as early as possible to dominate here the second map and making sure that they won't get eliminated that early. They still want to go for that money. They still want to have a chance for the $900 that are on the line here for winning the regional finals. Not the stage finals, I'm sorry. It's not the regional finals yet. But 4:20 on the clock, Team Flux 0, Team Flux 2, Blast 0 so far, and possession is with Idol Lego right now on the Blast side, waiting a bit, trying to figure out, oh, that was beautiful. I took around him there, blasted into a different direction, making sure that the opponent can't get him. There's a chance for Lone Gecko to score, but it is denied by Team Flux.
Mr. Scottish Guy is going to stop it this time, sends it way downfield, and now it's a bit of a slingshot race, which it seems like someone from Flux will get in the way of it, but no, Blast successfully get back in their defensive zone in time. Should be able to play keep away with this player from Flux who's trying to steal it, and then look for a clear of their own to send it back to the midfield. But right now, there's bounced it back and forth between Idol Lego and Infinity. Lone Gecko is going to have to try and move in and pick it up here in a second. There's the pass over towards him. Oh, a nice little juke off the goalie cubes that are at the midfield here too. Another pass sent to Idle Lego. They're making progress. They're quickly moving up the field. Only one goalie in position here for Team Flux, so that could become problematic, but they throw it off the back diamond. It's a big miss, sends the disc loose. Flux will clear it away from their bubble for now, but it's not out of their zone just yet. Blast can still cause some issues here, but no. Flux will get possession once again, and this time it's enough to send it to the other side.
There was a bit of chaos there because no one really was aware of this happening, like the backboard and then the disc totally going off and breaking loose there with everyone going for it, trying to get position. It is Nilovic that had the disc there, but it intercepted once again, but now going onto the side of Blast. This is a very long play this time. Both teams try to score, but haven't been successful so far, and we're only 2-0 currently. This is not like a lot have happened in this match so far.
It's been very eventful. It's been very seesawy, I guess is an interesting way to describe it if I want to go there. Where we're kind of just looking at both teams making 1 or 2 attempts to score, which there's the one from Blast right there, and it's a 3-pointer. With how slow-paced this game has been in terms of goals, that could actually be a pretty massive goal from Blast, especially if they can follow it through with a quick 2 or another 3-pointer to really secure that lead for themselves and make Flux have to go work for a goal. Because that's when Flux could start making a series of mistakes, like they get too aggressive or they play too defensively, trying to avoid further goals, and then that just opens up more opportunities for Blast. So this could be a bit of a game changer here, as Blast do kind of get away with that one.
Yeah, Flux tried to continue at where they left off from that map number 1, where they took that win over Blast. But right now, it is Blast leading after a long play without a goal, and it was finally a 3-pointer for them. But it is Team Flux being in possession of the disc once again. Nilovic trying to launch that attack towards the Blast goal. Seems like that got intercepted. Yeah, Lone Gecko was in position, but only for a second, basically. Nilovic is back on the disc. No man's land currently. Everyone's going for the disc. Lone Gecko got it, launches off the backboard, missing it by just some inches, at least from our perspective. It looked like that. Not sure if it was really that close. And Scottish Guy, he gets that disc. They're trying to get rid of it from their own side here, but it's once again Infinity picking up, having a chance, launching it and scoring another goal here for Blast. They're now really building it up here. It is 2-6.
It's like those wind-up goals that we saw right there. Infinity just wraps his arm around it a little bit to get a bit of more momentum behind it, and then slings it in for a quick 3-pointer there. That's the second goal from Blast, but it is both of them being 3-pointers. So it has still put them in a good position now at 6-2 over Team Flux. Only 2 minutes left as well. So Flux are going to have maybe a little bit of a hard time getting back in it. We'll have to see how they can try to set up. It's been a while since Flux have really put any pressure on Blast. Blast have really cleaned up their act over the last 2 to 3 minutes now, so they've been looking a lot more like their normal selves here.
Yeah, but they turn it into a 2-possession lead, which is the important part here. It's not just that Team Flux scores once and they're back in the game or leading or even. Currently, no, that is a 2-possession one. They need to score 2 goals to get back the lead. Unless Blast is not scoring anything. I'm not sure what's happening there. There's someone just floating around. Oh, that's why. I saw someone floating around, and it was like, okay, what are they doing? Not really going for it. So since they got the disc, they're just throwing it back and forth on the arena. Obviously, we'll quickly get back that missing guy onto the field, into the arena, making sure that's 3 versus 3, and not any other weird way of doing the matchup.
Yeah, of course, just have to, again, do the same thing we did before, just a quick little reset to get these guys back into a good shape and then restart the match. So that could actually explain the problems that we were seeing with Team Blast at the beginning of the match, too. It could have been due to lag on Idle Lego's part, since he's dropped out of the game twice now, so that could kind of explain why it's a bit more of a bumpy road than we're normally used to. It's still making it a decent match, however, as these two teams are going pretty back and forth at each other right now.
Just stop watching the stream in the background, man. You can watch the VOD later. You don't need to watch live while you're playing VR. I mean, you could do that. You could just bring it up in VR while playing.
How'd you do that?
Never did that? It works.
No, how do you...
You can have like a browser or whatever you want in VR while playing.
No, haven't tried that yet.
You should. It's a fun feature, man. Blue is now going through all the possibilities this actually creates. Like, wow.
So I know you can do it from the menu, but I don't know how you like have it open at the same time while you're playing.
Yeah.
It's like distracted driving, you know, to a certain degree.
There's no law yet that forbids that. There's no law in
dangerous. So you gotta be careful.
You're not allowed to watch the stream while playing.
Thankfully, you don't have to worry about sniping or anything like that in this game. It's not really an advantage you could get from watching the stream. So
I think there's no advantage at all right now.
Yeah, no, there isn't, because Like even with the 5 seconds it takes to encode it and send it up to the internet, it's probably
Even if it would be
any
without a
useful
delay.
info you would have gotten would have been gone anyway.
Yeah, even without a delay.
I don't think we have a delay. Hold on.
It's
Wait a
really
second.
interesting. Is there a delay? Let me have a look.
Counting it in my head.
You didn't get
About 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, you can't get any useful info from that.
So 10 seconds, basically, sometimes my brain
10
lags.
seconds, the entire game could change. So there's no way you're getting any useful info off that, basically. In this game, anyway. Game like Counter-Strike or something like that, obviously, be a bit different, but
Yeah, or League of Legends or anything that it's more like buying items.
any slower game, really.
Yeah, building up strategy. I mean, there is strategy in Echo Arena, but it happens real time, basically. It's not like it sets up for the next 5 minutes.
It's more like a normal contact sport, to be honest. So it's like if a football player had like the game on his watch, wouldn't really be much to gain from that. It's like quickly look and he sees positions and stuff like that. He sees where
They're
everybody
more
is.
concerned about the hair then.
That'd be cool, though,
I
when
was
you
on
think that,
camera.
right?
I was on camera.
That'd be cool now, right? If you think about it, if like people who are playing football had like a mini map on their wrist or something like that. I don't know how useful it would
like
be,
football
but-
games where they have that then. It's like they can
I
see
know-
where's the ball right now. I can find it.
Because I know in American football, the quarterback or whoever the captain is has that thing on his wrist. It's like a tablet now. It used to be like a
Really?
It used to be like a flip book, but now it's a tablet and it has like all the plays on it. Like it has all the plays that,
No
that a team
way.
can make on it, and it's like literally he can just go through there and look, and a coach can like send him one. It's really cool. So it'd be cool to see like more stuff like that in sports. Just hypothesizing, thinking out loud, so to speak.
We're not in that, but we're waiting for the last play. We will hop onto a short break, and then we're back with a matchup you just saw. We are back with the game between Team Flux and Blast. It is 2-4 right now. Blast leading, and Sloan Gecko scoring immediately because that was how it was before, right? Didn't we end it with Blast having 6? Yeah,
Yes,
it's two-possession game. I said
this is the
two-possession game.
rescore
Yeah.
right here to reset it to where it was, basically.
Yeah, I said it was two-possession game for Blast right now, and that's where we are. We're 2-6, so we're starting again, 1:50 on the clock, and let's hope that Lone Gecko will not be the lonely guy without internet again, sitting at home and not having contact to any of his friends and teammates.
Idle Lego's got to try and patch that up a little bit here since he's run into that problem. I don't know what internet he's got, but I'm going to spruce that up.
4G off his phone. That's probably what he's running
It's
on.
a surprising amount of people that have been at these VR events that do actually play on 4G internet. It's been a very interesting cast of people we've had showing up at these VR events. But we are going to see Flux quickly put together a response to 2-pointer for themselves. Still a minute and a half left on the clock with another 3-pointer. They could be in the lead, potentially eliminating Blast from this run here. So Blast all of a sudden is put into the hot seat as we come down to the last minute and a half of play.
They had some time to actually think about their attempt here to score really, really quick, and they did so. So it is a bit closer now. It is just 2 points in between. Flux could go for a 3-pointer to get back. The lead is 1:33 on the clock still, so that gives them a lot of time. The launching off, it's possession for Blast, obviously, since they just got a goal scored against them. Lone Gecko in position off the disc. Oh, there's coming someone in. I thought there would be a stun, but Lone Gecko got around that, passing it over, missing the target. That's a chance here for Team Flux to get back on the disc. Who's getting it first? Stillawick just launching it off to the other side, making sure the disc is further away from their goal. So who will pick it up first? Is there a chance for Team Flux to have that trying to get on even here? But no, it's beautiful, intercepted by Nilowick, who's on his way to the goal, passing it over Sinister from the back of the goal, and his Scottish guy. All 3 guys were involved and part of this very important goal, making it 6-6.
Nice pass work. It actually, I think, threw Blast goalie off. I believe it was Infinity. Could be wrong on that, however. That ended up jumping out of goal right at the last moment because he thinks he thought he was predicting where the disc was going to get passed to, but it wasn't the case. They actually juked him a little bit on the pass and was able to loop it around, and because of that, they had an open goal, so an easy 2-pointer for them. They're not, however, in the lead just yet, though, because it is a 2-pointer instead of a 3-pointer, so they still got to work a little bit more for it. 50 seconds left. Blast will start with possession this time, though, so it's going to be a little bit harder to secure that second goal they need to take the lead now. Either team scoring in these next 45 seconds could very well win them the game, so it's going to come down to the wire, and for Blast, they need to score here.
Yeah, Scottish guy once again in possession. Really, we know Flux is in the lead here. They're leading by 1 in terms of maps and matchups over Blast. So if they win here, they will eliminate Blast. Or if Blast is coming back, we'll go on to a third match. But so far, we don't know if that will happen. There we see Disc, Brook lose, no one in possession. Now onto the side of Team Flux. Blast on the way to the goal. Is there a chance for them? No, it's Scottish guy picking up around the goal, trying to get that disc on the side of Blast. Another 4 seconds. Seems like we'll go overtime.
Oh, wait.
Missing the goal, just getting it onto the iron, and we'll have an overtime here. Blast had the chance right on the last second to turn this into a 1-1.
Would have been a buzzer beater moment right there if I've ever seen one. Blast nearly securing themselves a 3-pointer within the last, I think, second or two on the timer.
A 3-pointer, yeah, you're right.
So it would have surely put them ahead. But no, now we go to overtime. And for those of you who might be new to Echo Arena, it's very much like Rocket League, actually. It's first point wins within these 2 minutes here. And if the timer runs out, I think it just repeats itself. So let's get into it and see who exactly can score. It doesn't matter if it's a 2 or a 3-pointer, just need to score a goal. And the first team to do it will win.
Yeah, Team Flux got lucky here because that was a chance for Blast to get that on the throw from Nilowik, but he's missing the goal, giving possession to his own team. They got lucky there. They're still in possession. As soon as they got it to Nilowik over, they might want to cross it once again. Yeah, they do to Scottish guy. Scottish guy scoring. Team Flux up to 8, turning this into 2-0, eliminating currently European's best team Blast here from the lower bracket.
Very well done. Again, just a bit of a caveat on that, considering it looks like Blast's roster has had some changes recently compared to what they used at the LAN a couple weeks back, but still a massive victory for Team Flux. Unfortunately, Blast also suffering from some Blast also suffering from some internet issues right there.
Interview issues, maybe.
But that will be, I think, one of the lowest placing events we've seen Blast have in some time, only making it to the round of 4, number 2 in the lower bracket. They will go down there, and we will see Team Flux pushing forward into the lower bracket semis. Very cool.
That is cool, but I was just surprised that Blast had the chance there to eliminate, to at least get that map back, to turn it into a 3, like going to the last map on the best of 3. Unfortunately, it didn't work for them, so they got eliminated. I think we now jumping onto the upper bracket to the winner bracket. We'll do that up next to see what's happening there. But so far, we lost Blast, we lost Duck Quack. They're also eliminated already. We know that, who did Gamma eliminate?
Gamma took out Smash Dash.
Smash Dash, so they also are out of this. We still have, on the upper side of the bracket, we still have Aftershock, obviously, because they won all their matches so far.
Correct.
And let's have a look at the bracket. That will make it a lot easier than me remembering everything here.
Bit convenient now that you see it, right?
Yeah, it's like now that I have it, like production was like, hey, you talk a lot of bull, you know, just have the bracket.
You were trying to figure it out in your head. Meanwhile, they've got it right here. So.
Yeah, so Aftershock won 2-0 against Blast at Stern. Then Blast went down to the lower bracket. We just saw that Team Gravity 2-1 against Backlash, turning them into the final on the winner bracket. So it's Aftershock versus Team Gravity. That's the match we probably see up next on the winner bracket because the only match that could run there. So I would suspect that is the match we're doing. And we saw Backlash then going 2-0 against Gamma. All right, so Gamma also eliminated. Blast got eliminated, but Team Flux turns into Backlash and Team Flux for the losers final. So another 2 matches before we then see the grand final, where we decide on who gets that $900.
I think this does, however, give us our 2 teams that would have qualified at this point, however, because I think we're at that point, considering that everyone else is still in contention besides these 2 teams have already qualified in an earlier tournament. So I'm pretty sure, I'll leave this up to the admins to get final confirmation, but I'm pretty sure it's Backlash and Gamma that are the ones that qualified. But like I said, we'll come back to you guys a little bit later.
I mean, Backlash is still in there, right?
Yeah, because they took down Gamma, so they're moving forward. So those are the two teams that so far out of the 4 have made it the furthest. Like I said, I'll wait for the admins to get final clarification on that, but I'm pretty sure those are the 2 teams that now qualify into the EU regionals.
It's blue confirmed, not yet admin confirmed.
Yeah.
That's the situation where we are right now. We're just waiting to set up that winner brackets final. Basically, that's what we're waiting for. It's not the grand final yet. It is the last match of the winners bracket, and that will be an interesting one, I have to say, because I'm really, now that we saw a lot of the loser bracket matches and we saw how it changed, like the play style going through the different stages of today, I'm really looking forward to what we're seeing on the winner brackets.
All right, and we are going to see as well here, Aftershock versus Team Gravity will be that matchup. But it looks like I'm getting like more clarity on the roster changes as well, because Aftershock are now jumping into this roster, joining Viatrex as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how the rosters have now played out, because it looks like there was a little bit of a shakeup that I missed while we were covering Onward the past couple of weeks, and now it's changed up the team dynamics a little bit, because Aftershock is a very prominent player in the European scene. We saw him at the LAN really tearing things up, and it's going to be fun to see if he'll be able to do that once again tonight, as now he's representing Team Gravity, it seems.
And Team Gravity is one of the teams we didn't saw tonight yet. Yeah. It's the first match where we finally see them playing here in the Stage 3 finals. We saw Aftershock already. We saw their first match. They played pretty good. They made sure that they got a 2-0 advantage early on, so they had a good start into the whole tournament tonight. But did you ever see them playing against Team Gravity?
I can't. Not with these rosters. Like I said, with the rosters being a little bit different, that does change up the dynamic, because even like one player shifting can change a team's composition pretty heavily. If you lose a key player, someone like Aftershock, actually, interestingly enough, who, like I said, I think moved off of Blast onto this team, but I'll try to figure that out over the next couple of days as we're getting closer to our next event, which will be on the 15th. But it should just be a good match, because these are two like very top tier teams that are going to be going up against each other in the European region. Aftershock, we've already seen play multiple times in these cups and have always been one of the top representatives of Europe, and it's the same thing for Gravity. They've always remained in like top 3 contention, so these two guys are going to be very close to each other. It's going to be a very competitive match, and there's a lot on the line for it as well, considering that it is the upper bracket final, because if you do win this one, you get the free ticket to only win the grand finals with a single best of 3 played out, so you have that bit of a safety that if you lose the initial best of 3, you can still come back, win the second one, and you'll be able to take it regardless, whereas your opponents are going to have to win 2 directly, because they're coming in from the lower bracket.
Yeah, it is a bit more complicated, like Blue said already. So they're starting with an advantage, whoever comes out of the winner bracket compared to the one of the loser bracket. So that will change the game slightly. I mean, everyone wants to get that head start into the match, but right now it can only be Team Gravity or Aftershock, and we're starting into the final of the upper bracket, of the winner bracket. And I see some familiar names for me, so I definitely saw Team Gravity already. I saw Aftershock before, but he said that already he might switch in virtual reality jersey. I'm not sure if I saw him playing before. Viatrix, I saw him as well in one of the previous cups. And obviously Tutorial Bot 2.0, Matty and Slin on the side of Aftershock. That's how we started the evening.
So here we go, guys, jumping directly into it here now. This is some top tier European competition, and you are not going to want to miss it. So getting into the action right off the bat, Aftershock will take possession after he gets a nice block off, stopping Aftershock from stunning him, sends the clear forward. Viatrix is going to try to grab on for a ride against one of these players, and in fact gets in the way of them, baits them into a block, knocks one of them out, and is keeping the disc loose for now. Now he's going to move in, take possession, try to send it off the diamond for a quick goal, and he almost gets it too, but it looks like Tutorial Bot will steal it away, look for to clear himself to send it back to the midfield.
Yeah, first message of Team Gravity to Aftershock, making sure that they know, hey, long shots is something we can definitely do, hitting the iron. They're not scoring a goal yet, unfortunately, but Aftershock is on the move. No, it is intercepted by virtual reality jersey, bringing the disc back onto the side of Aftershock.
Oh, almost a second time
that would have been a lucky one.
Yeah, 2 times in a row, you almost see them bounce off a the back diamond there and be able to score for themselves off of that. So there's some shooting accuracy going on, and it eventually is going to lead into Gravity just getting an outright goal for themselves here. Nicely done by them. They will take a quick 2-pointer on the opener here. Actually, not even that quick. A minute and a half going by before we see that score. So taking a little bit, but Gravity will be first on the board here at 2-0.
Yeah, let's see if Aftershock has a quick comeback right onto the next round here. When they launch off the launch pads and when they get that disc, obviously they got the disc on their side now. Let's see which of their players will pick it up first. I guess it will be Tutorial Bot 2.0. Actually, I think that's how they did the previous rounds, but I don't want to jinx that here. Right now, it is Matty that picks it up first and brings it over to Slin here onto the other side of the arena. Oh, they avoided two of the players of Team Gravity. Great pass there. They made it through, but then they got stopped there. I think they even got stunned on the side. Matty's still in position, has the long shot,
there it
scoring
is.
the three-pointer, bringing Aftershock back in the lead.
Nicely done, and getting a great angle to be able to get a nice, secure three-pointer, and more importantly, catching Team Gravity out of position, catching them when they did not have a goalie in a good spot to stop that. So it's a nice, easy three-pointer for them to sink in and establish a lead now at 3-2, which could very easily be broken, though, especially considering that, again, Gravity is going to get back possession at the start of this round. So we'll see how this now adds up, and we'll see if Gravity's got anything special to show us on the opening launch.
Yeah, it seems like this will be a good matchup. I mean, I'm super happy about this back to Tune 3 and not Team Gravity just running away with another goal here. So they're currently trailing after leading early. Afentera in position off the disc, trying to launch it over to Virtual Reality Jersey. He picks it up. I have a quick look at the opponent coming closer, make sure that he leaves the disc before he actually gets stunned. Viatrix passing it over to Virtual Reality Jersey. They trying to launch the attack now. They're in good positions, left and right to the goal. Trying cross pass. They do so, and Afentera gets the goal for Team Gravity, getting them in the lead. Once again, in Aftershock is trailing the second time in this matchup, but it seems like their goalie was not up to the pace.
And that's Afentera tearing it up once again here for Team Gravity, now under a bit of a new banner. Has moved in and done some great damage for himself, securing another two-pointer and putting Gravity back into the lead. It's very, it's turned into a very seesaw-y round once again. I know I used that term before, bit of a lengthy one, but good way to describe things in this game. Oftentimes when we have teams going back and forth at each other, we see that an example of that once again in this match.
Let's see how this plays out. We still got 2 minutes 40 on the clock, so still a lot of time to pass on here for any team to score a goal. Slin over, he got the disc of Matty. Back to Matty once again, is right in the center. Oh, they're trying to play around the goal there, but missing Slin with the pass. So Matty missing it and gives Team Gravity a chance. Yeah, they launch each other off, but they forgot the disc, guys. You need it. You can't score a goal without it. And no matter how quick you are, this is not a racing game. And they got in position of the disc, and they're also scoring. Yep, Team Gravity back. 6 points for them after Aftershock on 3.
Even with that stoppage, just some nice quick movement coming out from Team Gravity there. Very quickly establishing themselves in a good position to be able to secure another two-pointer, catching Aftershock off guard to a certain degree, and it allows them to sink another goal, pushing them ahead here, 6-3 over Aftershock. Not much of a response coming in from Aftershock, unfortunately, besides the opening goal of the entire round, which was scored by them. Since then, it's been very quiet from Aftershock, so we're going to have to wait and see if they're going to wake up at all here. Still 2 minutes, still about half the time left in the round, so there's plenty of time for Aftershock to get back into it. But right now, it's all Team Gravity. They can see that lightning speed launch from the two-man team pushing forward. Going to try to go for an interception. Won't work out, though. The pass is still sent to Slin, and he can more than likely chuck it over to Tutorial Bot as well.
Yeah, they would need that three-pointer. That would bring them back to tying this matchup immediately. Unfortunately, they lost the disc there. It's back on the side of Aftershock, but Matty picks it up, making sure that Team Gravity doesn't have the chance to immediately score. But Virtual Reality Jersey got interception there. He made sure that the disc is not passing the middle line. Over to Afentera. Afentera onto the goal. There might be a chance going around the goalie, and he does it by the assist of Virtual Reality Jersey, making sure that Team Gravity is on 8 and Aftershock now trailing by 5 already. Yep, if you want to win this first match here, then you need to get a comeback immediately now.
Yeah, already in 2-goal territory for a comeback and about to cross the 3-goal territory threshold here. Gravity is getting dominant control of this matchup, and it's very snowbally for them here right now. So Aftershock, well, they're going to have to wake up very quickly or they're going to find themselves losing this first round. And Team Gravity will have themselves a great lead, which could very well push them into a 2-0 position and a spot in the grand finals, putting them in very good straits to look forward to taking first place at this event if they can follow that through with the win in the grand finals against whoever they may end up against there, which could very well be Aftershock.
Yeah, we'll see. We still got 1:20 on the clock. See what's happening here. I'm not sure yet. I wouldn't rule out Aftershock, especially this is only the first map. Even if they go one by for Team Gravity, there's still a chance for a comeback of Aftershock. So far, I didn't saw them having any attempt even to score a goal. That might be the first time now going around the goal, but unfortunately missing. No chance for him. Viatrix now in position off the disc. Make sure that this goes a long way there out of the side and the field of Team Gravity. They also pick it up immediately. Oh, good one by Slin, making sure that the disc is not going wild around all of their goal. Matty flying right after going it over to Tutorial Bot 2.0. He got, I think he had an open goal there, but he didn't went for it. Matty now, that's a 3-point range. Yeah, look at it. But he's working with the roof, trying to avoid the defense, playing it over to Slin. Slin from the back over to Tutorial Bot 2. Tutorial Bot from the backside, missing the goal there. I'm a bit surprised.
It's going to get punched over to midfield. It's going to miss the side tube, however, so Aftershock still has a chance at this. They've picked it up once again. A quick pass is sent over to Tutorial Bot, now moving inside of the 3-point zone. But out of it again is no one's there from Aftershock to retrieve it. We can see VR Jersey's going to move in. He picks it up. Can he get it out, though? And yes, he can. Way down the field here now. No slingshot, but that isn't necessary anymore. Less than 5 seconds. Viatrex will just punch it in anyway there. Gets one more onto the board with only 1.8 seconds left. I think it's safe to say that we will not be seeing Aftershock bouncing back into this round. And then it's going to go by the way of Team Gravity. They'll take it 10-3 and put themselves up 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, they will definitely take map number 1 here in the best of 3. So putting them in a slight advantage for the next one, even if they now launch.
And yeah, they just rematched it. So.
Yeah. All right, I think that is done and dusted here for map number 1. So it is Team Gravity leading by 1, and we will see Aftershock trailing after the first map. I also have to say, it looks like Aftershock is struggling a bit with the pace that Team Gravity is bringing onto this match. They're way quicker with launching themselves throughout the whole arena, so they're always a step behind.
Yeah, it seems like they were chasing them, though, is the thing, is that they're very close to keeping up with them. It's just a matter of that those slingshots that we were seeing from Team Gravity were so quick, like literally snap of the finger, these guys are on one side of the arena to the other. And we're probably going to see a good example of that right here. Just watch the minimap. Watch how quickly Team Gravity is able to move across it. It's actually very close on the opening joust. It ends up in Team Gravity's possession to a certain extent. They get the punch. They send it deep into Aftershock territory. They will send it back themselves. Slin has it right now. Is he going to be able to keep it, though, and send it a little bit further down? Yes, he will. So, bit of a bounce back after Team Gravity technically wins the joust. Aftershock immediately respond in their own kind. And now they're going to have partial possession as they move into Team Gravity's turf.
You'll see now if there is a quick goal. Might be one for Aftershock. Yeah, it's done by Matty. Then got him the pass there right in front of the goal. And Matty's just putting it in, making sure there's the first 2 points on the side of Aftershock, putting them in a slightly better position to start off the second map than they have been ending on the first map. But still, 4:31 on the clock. Team Gravity showed that they can score really strong and really consistent against Aftershock. So they need to still be aggressive, but they want to make sure that the defense is on point.
Well, here comes the launch in just a moment. Aftershock, now with the leader, to look to defend this lead, but that may not prove so easy with Team Gravity. Getting the nice opening push here. An immediate pass over to VR Jersey, not an open goal just yet. We do have someone from Aftershock inside of it, so they're going to pass it back right now to Affenter. Now over to Viatrex. Viatrex himself might be sending it up the field to Affenter, and Affenter, once again, will be the one to secure it. The immediate response comes in just a few seconds after we see Aftershock scoring, and now it has tied us up at 2-2.
Yeah, quick answer here. It just shows that Team Gravity, they can repeat their performance from map number 1, from match number 1 here against Aftershock. Obviously, they want to make sure they turn this into a quick 2-0 to make sure that they have their ticket for the grand final, have the chance for those $900 in this here. Obviously, they already qualified for the world final on the European side. They don't need that slot. They're just in for winning this here, for winning that money. And they're doing good so far on their way to that money.
As we take a look now at the opening play again, there's that two-man team working with a slingshot as well. I think it's Affenter and VR Jersey, but I'll try to get that confirmed in a second. It's a little bit hard to see the player names in the back right there. No, it was actually VR Jersey and Viatrex, just to confirm that we're working together as the two-man team. That's a very powerful combo, though. We saw that, I think, at the LAN as well, just how strong that had been there, too. Matty picking it up right now. It's sent back over to Tutorial Bot. Attempt to intercept it comes in from Team Gravity, but it's going to miss. Now Team Gravity got to quickly scramble to the other side. However, there you go. Just watch the minimap, how quickly they float across the arena. It's immediately picked up by them. Aftershock doesn't even follow. It's so quick. They're just going to immediately switch to a defensive position now and wait for Gravity to make the next move.
Having an opponent that's able to move around that quickly on a game like this, on a game like Echo Arena, it really gives you a huge advantage on the side of Team Gravity if you're able to basically be wherever you need to be on the map. Aftershock, as you said already, they stayed in their side of the map. If they weren't sure what to do at all, and Viatrex just goes for the easy goal. They're putting up Team Gravity by 4.
So Team Gravity, another 2-pointer secured for them. So far, this is playing out very, very similar to what we saw in the opening round. Aftershock, it's the opening goal. Gravity figure out what the mistakes they made, quickly work to get back their own possession, and are now kind of dominating from this point forward. We're going to have to see if that will remain the case, as Aftershock, same as the last round, is now going to be put in the hot seat to try and bring themselves back into it. Still plenty of time to respond and bring themselves back into the fray. However, at 4-2, there's still plenty of room and time for Aftershock to respond. So they're certainly not out of the fight just yet. That they do need to win this round. Otherwise, Gravity is going to be moving forward into the grand finals.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're fully aware of that they need to win this right now here. And Slyn had a chance there, but look at that, how quickly they got the disc off the hands of Aftershock here. Team Gravity making sure that they're in control of the whole matchup, making sure that Aftershock is not much room to move around or even starting an attack here. They're just passing back and forth and trying to run down the clock.
As they keep taking Slyn for a bit of a ride here. They're finally going to send it downfield. That is what that is for, though, is to waste a little bit of time here, try and make these goals take a bit more time off the clock, and basically give Aftershock less time to round their own comeback here. As long as they still have general security and being able to run up towards the goal, I don't think Team Gravity minds wasting 20, maybe even 30 seconds off that clock, and we can see exactly why right here, because it still leads to an eventual outcome of them scoring, this time with a 3-pointer, and taking about a minute to secure it. Burns a nice amount of time off the clock, now under the halfway point here, with Gravity at a 5-point lead.
Yeah, it's once again into a position game here on the side of Aftershock. They will need at least 2 goals to get back onto Team Gravity. If those will be 3-pointers all the way through. So far, the team around Aftershock is really putting on the show here, making sure that they have a huge chance of winning the second map as well, and eliminating Aftershock here on the side of the winner bracket, getting their tickets to the grand final. 2:14 still on the clock. We got off the launch pads, the disc is in position of Slyn on the side of Aftershock, passing it around, trying to cross it. They tried to play around virtual reality Jersey and Viatrix there, but it is After waiting on the back. But look at Tutorial Bot 2.0, really scoring quickly here, putting Aftershock back on the scoreboard.
Team Gravity did not expect that one, as we see Tutorial Bot just sneaking that 3-pointer right in for themselves. That's actually a massive goal being picked up by them. Could very well reignite this game, as it was starting to look like, I was saying before, it was going the same way that the first round had gone, where Team Gravity would just kind of take control after they started scoring. But now with Aftershock bouncing back a bit more convincingly, we still have a game on our hands, especially with that quick 3-pointer being scored. They could score another one and immediately take the lead away. So Gravity's got to focus up a little bit, as they do not have this series or the upper bracket advantage going into the grand final secured just as of yet.
And we'll see, they got 2 minutes to go, and we know sometimes how long a play can take before someone scores a goal. And the longer they do that now, the easier it will be for Team Gravity to just defend that lead. They currently have Matty is on the way, but Aventura with a quick turnaround interception here, right behind that middle center line, basically over to Virtual Reality Jersey, passing it on to Viatrix. They're getting closer to the goal, trying to get in the right positions to have a play. Nope. They got a stunt there, taking away the disc from Team Gravity, and Aftershock is on the way. But once again, look at these two launching themselves onto the goal of Team Gravity. Gravity is just super quick and moving around this arena, which makes it so hard for Aftershock to get back in the lead.
It's going to be another launch coming back out here. VR Jersey, a nice bounce from him, sends it way down into Aftershock territory. Where's the follow-up there? Here comes the launch. There's no one following it from Aftershock. This could be bad. We can see a 3-pointer score, but Gravity are going to confide themselves in the safety of the 2-pointer and just bring themselves up to 9. That'll be good enough. Puts them at a more far-reaching distance. At least 1 more goal, 2 more goals, I should say, for after that. Aftershock now need to be able to close the gap between themselves and Team Gravity here. There's only a minute to make up for it, so they were okay in that situation to just secure themselves with a 2-pointer.
Aftershock has to go for those 3-pointers, making sure that they get 6 points out of 2 attempts. That's what they should aim for. But Team Gravity sitting on 9 with 1 minute 4 to go. I think that is a lead that they can live with. If it stays like that, they could also start to basically delay the game right now. They had more possession. They were more in control of the game. So as long as they have the disc, they might have a chance to run down the clock at least a bit. Stunts coming out there on the side of Team Gravity, but still not getting the disc though. It is Matty that picks it up once again, passing it over to Slyn and trying to get closer to the goal. No, that was a missing shot. Might be a chance here for Team Gravity to get in position. No, they get stunned before they could do that. So it's Slim picking it up, once again intercepted by Alphantera, who now has a quick load. Yeah, they can delay it now. They can wait a bit. Yeah, passing it over. No, not really passing, just launching it. But look, they're once again launching the two players onto the other side. They're so quick and moving around, but Slin getting it. But Slin has no other choice than just trying to get rid of that disc, trying to get it away. But no, Alphantera is picking it up.
Half-and-Terror sends it over to Viatrex, now over to VR Jersey, who will sink it in again for Team Gravity. Only 5 seconds left, so I think it's pretty much safe to call this one as well. 11-5 for Team Gravity, and assuming that we don't see a miraculous turn of events or hacks from Aftershock that would allow them to come back into this game, I think it's safe to say that they've now taken it 2-0 and will be moving forward into the grand finals. For Aftershock, of course, they are not done just yet. They can still bounce back in the lower bracket. They're going to be facing off against. Let's see if they have a matchup just yet. Nope, not just yet. So we don't necessarily know who they're going to be playing off against, but they could still bounce back, and we could still very well see a rematch between these two teams in the grand finals should Aftershock be able to make their way back from the lower bracket grand finals.
And by that, it is Team Gravity taking it here, taking the final on the winner bracket. That means they will move on to the grand final. But who is still there in the lower bracket? Who could face Aftershock in the next stage of tonight's tournament?
Just refreshed it. So right now we've got Backlash waiting in the lower semi to go up against either Blast or Team Flux, pending the result of that match. The winner of that one will then go up against, it was actually Flux that won that match, by the way. The winner of that one will then go up against Aftershock now to face off against Team Gravity in the grand final.
And we'll figure all of that out soon, as we have all the results. And obviously, we'll see most of those matches. That's what we're here for. We want to see more Echo Arena action and more plays. Before we go on to the next stage, and we said it already, 15th of August, that is the next event coming out. Tell us more about that.
Oh, sorry, say it once more.
15th of August. That's the next show.
I think that would be our last chance qualifiers, if I'm correct.
Yeah, you should know that.
Yeah, I believe so. I'd probably double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's our last chance qualifiers.
Going in the cold water, like, hey, Blue, what are you doing on the 15th of August?
Yeah, you threw that one at me, so.
You will check his schedule. We'll be back right after a short break, and then we'll tell you more about that.
Today talking with Virtual Reality Jersey, and he is with Team Gravity from European League for Echo Arena Esports League. Virtual Reality, could you tell me a little bit about your team, your teammates, and how you guys came together?
Started, so I have my two teammates right now are Viatrex and Martin the third. So me and Martin started Team Gravity in the third week of the first season. So, and we played in the first two just in different formats. So yeah, we've been here since the very, very beginning. and then Viatrex joined us kind of mid last year, kind of the lead up to Worlds. So essentially, he's been there since, and yeah, so it's been us three this season, and I mean things are going pretty well so far. It's been a interesting start to the new season. That, as kind of everyone knows, it was a bit of a last minute like, oh, hey guys, you're playing next week. And like, oh, that's great. I've got holidays planned, but never mind. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's been a pretty roller coaster ride to start with. So yeah, I mean, we're just kind of getting into it now. It doesn't even feel like it's mid-season already. Even though we're like 4 weeks in already, which is weird. But yeah.
Well, what kind of strategy do you feel like you guys are using that's giving you I mean, you're doing very well. So what are you doing that's giving you an advantage over the other teams right now?
I don't know. I feel like it's a mix of things. I think for us, obviously, we're one of the few teams that have kind of gelled really well and stuck together since last season. So
played together longer.
Yeah. So we played together for quite a long time, actually, compared to a lot of the teams that are switching or chopping and changing.
It makes a big difference.
I do get why, and I think that there's potential for those teams to be really strong in the long term because, again, this game's so new, even a year in, that players are reaching their skill caps like on a regular basis, and you're starting to see that with a lot of teams. I think it's happened in North America as well, where teams have been kind of adding and removing players because people realize that it was the first year, so a lot of players that joined and that were good have actually reached a certain level where it's really hard to get past. So I kind of get that level of state of flux is going to be a thing. But yeah, I think that's a big benefit from our side of things. I think another thing, I know Poe talks about us strategizing quite a lot because that's kind of one of the things we're known for a little bit, and that's what it was leading into Worlds. But we spend a lot of time like reviewing gameplay like of ourselves and like of other teams, and basically looking at what works, what we do well, what we will make mistakes on. I think offensively, we've got a formula that works really well, and we've got so many variations to that. And I think a lot of people are now trying to find their feet defensively. So I think for us, we've kind of got formulas that work and have worked against teams, but there's a lot of ground to make the defensive side of the game. There's a really interesting split actually between EU and NA. There's like the two regions develop styles completely different, which is really interesting to see.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, like even compared to last season there were actually more similarities. This season, it's like two completely different styles. So it'll be really interesting to see how they kind of continue to develop. I think EU, it's going to be really interesting, but I think for us specifically, I mean, developing strategies is something that we do well. But also I think like the speed of our play and kind of how we can tie in those strategies together. I think we work well with kind of blending strategies together. So essentially kind of moving from one strategy to the next and kind of blending the two plays. So it kind of creates a seamless play from defense to offense. And I mean, even on things like the joust, we've kind of got down a load of strategies, and I've got a spreadsheet of all the variations, and it's a growing one, but yeah, there's lots and lots of different things that we've got that we can tie into matches. And I feel like for us, when we're on the front foot and we're playing the game we want with the strategies, and we're kind of picking out, basically going through the list saying, right, we're going to do this one, or we're going to do this one, we end up on the front foot like really, really well, because we kind of end up pushing other teams on the back foot, because they then have to kind of spend a lot of time guessing, and because we've got so many varied ones, it does help as we go through things. I think that you can see in the matches that we play really well in, that they'll usually be by like a landslide, because we end up on the front foot. And I think when we play and we can get to play that kind of game that we want to, it shows in our play, basically.
That's great.
It is Blue Engineering once again with the VR League. And it just went out of words. I'm so sorry. The break was too long for me. It's
all good.
I'm so sorry. It is the VR League. It is Accra Arena. And we're getting closer to the grand final, but we're not there yet. Because we still have the final of the loser bracket.
Yes, we still have our lower bracket final, which we should have ready in just a moment here, guys. And we talked about this before. It was going to be the loser of that upper bracket final, that being Aftershock, and they're going to be going up against Team Flux, who took their match versus Backlash. We don't really know what happened there, but for some reason there was a forfeit win. Backlash was like unresponsive to communications or something like that. So Flux did get a free win in that match and push themselves forward into the lower bracket finals, where they're now going to face off versus Aftershock. Winner of this one will move back into the upper bracket, technically speaking, to face off against Team Gravity, potentially one more time in Aftershock's case, for the grand finals.
Do you think if Aftershock gets a second attempt, with now learning everything from the first match they played against Team Gravity, is there a chance for them to win that one?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those two teams are very close to each other, in my opinion, in terms of overall skill capability, so anything could happen in that grand final. It does get more difficult, specifically in the context of a VR game, if they have to go the distance and play both best of threes, though, because the thing is, that's going to be a lot of gameplay, and it's a lot of physical gameplay, so those teams could end up getting exhausted if they have to go on for that long. I don't necessarily know which way that would swing towards. We could be looking at one team kind of getting winded halfway through the series if they're not careful and they kind of manage their energy output properly.
What's with Flux against Aftershock? So we saw them playing already today. Seemed a bit, let's say, sometimes it was really, really good, and sometimes it was more like, close to decent, maybe. Not really running the whole show for them in the matchups. Do they have a chance right now?
Yeah, I mean, we saw them take down Blast earlier. That was the thing, right? That was the big upset right there that we were expecting. Me personally, I was expecting Blast to take them handily, but I didn't realize that there was these roster changes, which unfortunately seemed to play out terribly for Blast's favor. Blast at the same time also having those internet issues, so it's a bit hard to judge based off of that game, especially considering that was the first time I got to see Team Flux play. It's a little bit hard to judge how they're going to do versus Aftershock now, considering those issues for Blast. However, if they bring anything close to that level of performance and it's just as effective, we could be still looking at a very competitive match here. However, at a kind of offhand glance onto this match, I would still say that Aftershock should have a relatively straightforward time being able to take this series. But let's wait and see, because like I said, we could have a new contender here in the form of Team Flux. It's really all about proving themselves in this matchup versus Aftershock now, and maybe even against Team Gravity as well up in the grand finals if they can take this series.
Yeah, we're diving into the match, Team Flux versus Aftershock here in the VR League, brought to you by Intel. Let's see who gets their ticket to the grand final of today's stage final. That was a quick one. That could have been a goal for Team Flux here, and they're doing it in the second attempt. Nilliwick, make sure that Team Flux starts off strong with a three-pointer.
And there we go. Team Flux getting onto the board, put the pressure on Aftershock early, so very well done by them. Starting things off with an easy three-pointer, a 3-0 lead now established, but of course that does change up the situation a little bit, as now Aftershock will be getting possession at the start of the next volley.
Now let's see if Aftershock has an immediate response for that here. With the kickoff, they might got a slight advantage, obviously, with the disc right in front of their eyes here, right in front of their faces as soon as they got out of the tube. And is that enough for them to make it? It's Matty first on, going over to Slyn. There might be Tutorial Bot onto the other side, but no, since they're with that quick interception there, so disc is on the side of Aftershock. They might get follow up there. No, it is Tutorial Bot making sure they got it.
And there we go. Flux again showing up here.
I just jinxed it.
Putting the pressure on Aftershock very well. In fact, it's their movement more than anything, getting themselves into Aftershock's territory right there. That works out into their favor to be able to control that situation, lock them down, knock out their defenders, and secure themselves a second goal this early on. So, I mean, we're not even a minute into the game yet, and Team Flux has already scored twice, one of them being a three-pointer. So this is a great start for Flux, especially if they can keep the momentum going. Aftershock going to be put into the hot seat very quickly here, as it does seem like we have that new contender showing up to the table.
It's a two-point possession, two-attempt possession once again, with leading by 5. So they would need a three-pointer and a two-pointer as well, or going for two three-pointers. That would obviously be the best thing for Aftershock to happen. And they're now in possession of the disc with Slyn going there, just floating around. But no, they're going for the safe one. Slyn just basically laying it into the goal there against the goalkeeper of Team Flux there. Not a really great work of defense we saw there from Team Flux.
No, they're just non-existent defense, if we're being honest there. Aftershock kind of just walk it right in, so an easy 2-pointer for them. But that is going to help to keep things a little bit closer, as it's going to be a high-scoring game if I've ever seen one, if I had to predict this now, because we're still under a minute into the game. Obviously off by a second on that one, but still under a minute into the game. We've already had 3 goals scored, so you can expect a lot of them to get through throughout the course of this one. This is going to be potentially a long one, folks. Be sure to strap yourself in, especially if it continues to go back and forth like this.
Yeah, get your drinks ready and some snacks here. We're in for a good game. Flux once again in position. It's now Nilovic. He's trying to get that attempt there going. Since they're on the other side, and he might score it, and he does. Yeah, that was an easy one. He just dragged it right into the goal all around Aftershock.
He had a flip in the process there too, if you caught that one. He tried to do a bit of a backflip as he was moving in, so a little bit tricky with it too. Team Flux score once again, however, re-secure that advantage they had a few moments before, and well, right back into the lead, and this is a surprise to be sure. Like I said, it was hard to call, considering the issues that Blast seem to be facing in their matchup, but it certainly seems to hold true now. They've been able to bring the pressure just as confidently against Aftershock. And
I'll actually be happy to see
someone disconnect.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I would rather see Team Flux winning so that we get a new matchup in the grand final instead of seeing Aftershock going against Team Gravity. Again, on the other side, would be good seeing if Aftershock could overcome the first shot they had against Team Gravity, losing it and might winning it and then taking it back in the grand final. That would be a great match to see. But for that, they first need to overcome Team Flux.
Yeah, and they need to overcome their internet issues as well. It's very true.
Happens.
Yeah.
Live isn't easy, man.
That is Flux that they need to overcome their internet issues. Just to clarify, it's not the guys from Aftershock. I think it was Team Flux that had a player drop out, so we're going to work on getting him back into the server very quickly, and then we will restart the game exactly where it was, continuing to count down the clock. Just replay the... Actually, we won't even need to replay anything because they stopped that pretty much the second they came out of the launch gates. In fact, they didn't even come out of the launch gates, so won't need to waste any time away because of that one. It should start exactly where it left off as soon as we get that 6th player back in the server.
A bit unfortunate that they drop this. It always destroys a bit of your rhythm, right? You're in the game, you're scoring hard, you might be the team that got everything under control, and now you're coming back cold once again into the match. It's a new start, so we'll see how that plays out for the current leader.
It does work fine, though, for most players, since it's going to give them a little bit more time to kind of take the headsets off, get a drink of water, and recover a little bit physically. But there's still some players that prefer to kind of like, you know, keep themselves hot, so to speak, in the matches, and so it's gonna mess up the rhythm a little bit in that respect. But at the very least, it allows everyone to stay. Well, I'm trying to think of the word for it. Sorry. It allows everyone to stay well nourished more than anything else, as they're going to be able to keep themselves hydrated. That was the word I was looking for. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. So it's going to keep everybody well hydrated more than anything else and ready to play these matches. Don't want anyone fainting in the middle of the match. But there we go.
Oh, we don't want to see that.
Yeah. We've got all 6 back in the server, so they should be launching in a moment. We might just have to do the quick rescore. Yeah, we need to score Team Flux's 7th point, so they'll do that really quickly, and then we will continue on with the action, exactly where it left off.
I just love about Echo Arena that you can even launch off opposing players. That's really one of those features that are unique.
It breaks the laws of physics a little bit because a couple months ago, after I think Season 1 ended, or very close to Season 1's end, players figured out that they can not only launch off of each other, in addition to like daisy chaining it, they can also re-grab each other. So for instance, say there's 2 guys. Guy 2 launches off of Guy 1, but then Guy 1 grabs Guy 2 and repeats the process. And then they just go back and forth, and they can basically build up an infinite amount of speed. That's how players were able to get across the arena so quickly in some of those previous matchups.
Yeah, we saw that there are a lot of teams that have control of the arena due to that, because they know how to move quickly around the arena. So Team Flux leading by 7 against Aftershock on 2. That's exactly where we left off with that disconnect. So we're back onto that. Slyn is in possession for Aftershock here, launching onto the goal of Team Flux. Beautiful pass just across the goal. There's the chance for Matty. He's trying to rotate it around, but no. Sinister says no, denies it there. Gets the disc, but couldn't get it out of their own half here. Struggling a bit, getting rid of the disc. Slyn has it again, trying with the backboard, and he's doing it. That was beautifully done.
Very quick shot there at the end as well. Banks it right off the backboard, and will allow for Aftershock to stay competitive in this matchup now at 4-7. Still a little bit more room to go before they are back in it, but a quick 3-pointer could now tie things up and keep us even. Still 3 minutes remaining in the round as well. And this is just the first round, ladies and gentlemen. So be sure to stick around here, as the winner of this one is going to be moving forward to face off against Team Gravity in the grand final. It will be noted, though, that the team that moves forward from this match will have to win 2 best-of-3s in that grand final to be claimed as today's winner and take home the top prize, whereas their opponent on Team Gravity only needs to win 1 out of 2 of those best-of-3s.
Yeah, that will be like a very interesting one. I would say both teams actually. I would just want to say both teams would should be in the grand final there. They both have the skill set and both have the performance today to be there. But Aftershock now, time is up so quickly. I didn't expect it. I thought we were in for a slightly longer round this time with getting Aftershock closer to Team Flux. But nope, they're scoring super, super quick. Make sure that's 7-7 and start basically resetting the game here.
So that has brought us back down to square one. Both teams now having to look for another advantage to get, but it will be Team Flux that starts out with possession this time. The initial pickup from Mr. Scottish Guy sends it down the field, but Tutorial Bach, it's a nice interception. Now he himself will try to send it back up. That's probably going to put it right back. Oh, it's over to the left a little bit, actually. I thought Scottish Guy was going to have a chance to pick that up. Won't be the case. He will get it for a second. Has to fling it away, though, after Aftershock punches him. Takes him out of the fight for a little bit, but Cyanister from Flux is still able to recover it. Here's the launch from Aftershock to prevent it from going too deep into their own territory. Maddie, supported by Slin, and I'll pick this up, try to take it to the other end.
Yeah, well-deserved pickup there. They've been super quick in moving around. There's another stun coming in for Tutorial Bot 2.0. Quick pass there, unfortunately missing the target for Aftershock. So it gives the disc back to Team Flux, but just for some seconds, basically, because Maddie is in possession already. Now they need to repositioning. Great back pass there. Good look onto positions. That was well done. Tutorial Bot 2.0 got it, passing it all the way up to Slim from the top, getting it back to Matty. Matty's missing it, trying to pass it around, trying to cross pass, but I think Tutorial Bot 2.0, he was too far into this already, into the attack, and that's why they didn't have the chance to get the disc now in position of Scottish Guy, going all the way on the round of Aftershock.
So Cyanister gets the pickup first, but it's quickly sent away from him as Slin now steals it away. You're going to see Tutorial Bot try to launch off his teammate a little bit there too. But Slin ends up sending it flying. They don't have a slingshot ready to go to pick this up, so it's going to turn into a little bit of a race. Maddie retrieves it. He's got defensive players ready to stop this goal from happening, but it won't work. A quick pass over to Tutorial Bot, and the slam inside allows for him to score, and for Aftershock to now move ahead at 9-7 with just over a minute remaining on the clock.
Yeah, it seems like they found their rhythm once again. They look more in control of the match, as than what they did in the beginning of this match when we started here, where it was Team Flux scoring really, really quick, creating that gap here. But now they're trailing once again. We're still a bit more than 1 minute on the clock for both teams to turn this into their favor. We'll see. Disc is now on the side of Team Flux, obviously, since they just got a goal scored against them. Going over to Sinister, trying to pass it back onto Scottish Guy. Scottish Guy launched it over the middle line. That's good. Nilbeck picked it up, so he might be on his way now to the goal of Aftershock. But they still have one goal. It's a 1 versus 1 here. Let's see if he can overcome that. Score a goal, and he does, putting it up 9-9.
Wins him in the 1v1 right there. Obviously going to be a little bit difficult for Aftershock's goalie to stop that, but he completes the goal of at least converting it down to a 2-pointer away from a 3-pointer, so we'll be able to keep things even still at 9-9. And again, put the pressure onto Aftershock to respond if they want to maintain a lead and be able to take control of the opening round.
Now let's see who wins map number 1 here. That will be an important one because obviously all of them want to go to the grand final of today. You want to win them some money, and they can do that right here if they actually win the loser bracket final. Both teams struggling a bit. Both teams have their strong moments and also having their small mistakes or missed passes. They do all across the arena. Long pass there to Slin. Slin now in the 1v1, and that's an open goal because there was no goalie yet between the irons. It's an easy one for Aftershock, putting it up to 12.
Flux were dead weight. They were trying to get towards their goal. Unfortunately, had no one to bounce off of, and they were just floating amongst the islands, so they were not able to get in position quickly enough, whereas Aftershock was already set up for a scoring opportunity, and they took it. A nice, easy 3-pointer for them. Puts them up now 12-9 over Flux. Only 40 seconds for Flux to respond. We've been seeing some quick goals happening over the last minute or two, though, so I won't count Flux out of this one just yet, especially since they start with possession now. Let's see. if it's going to be enough to bring them back into it.
It's
Obviously, some quick
important that it
passes.
was a three-pointer because obviously that makes it way better than just leading by a two-pointer. So they know even if Team Flux gets in there, gets into the bubble, they could actually live with them scoring. Because there's not that much time anymore. Possession will be on their side then with the disc, so they could just delay it. They need a three-pointer. Oh, beautifully denied there by Tutorial Bot 2.0, so it's another 15 seconds. Flux needs that three-pointer right now, but that won't happen. 12 seconds and his possession of Aftershock. Aftershock just launching it onto the other side, trying to play down the clock. I think there will be enough. 5 seconds still to go. Nilowik launches, trying all the way, but no, denied. That's it. Map number 1 in favor of Aftershock.
Last minute intercept coming in there from Maddie, but it probably would have missed anyway. So Aftershock take the opening round 12-9. Up 1-0 in the series, one more away from having that rematch in the grand finals. And we're going to have to see if they can do it, as that one was close, very close, in fact. Aftershock had a bit of a wake-up call, as we saw the first few opening goals go very convincingly over towards the way of Team Flux. But a few moments later, we saw Aftershock waking up and getting back into it, and eventually scoring that very nice three-pointer at the end, which would allow them to maintain a lead until the clock ran down.
And we didn't saw going through to a third match yet. We didn't play the full best of 3 so far. So I could see that happening here if Flux actually gets back in the rhythm, gets to focus down once again on scoring some goals. They have been close to Aftershock. They have the skill, they have the performance right now to do that. Or even then seeing it in the grand final. I mean, Aftershock versus Gravity again, and then on 3 maps, that will be good.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have to see, though, because like I said before, some teams often will lose their luster after the first round, especially if they're close to an upset, but then they end up, getting upset themselves at the end of it. But we'll have to see, because Team Flux has been surprising me so far. They're going to come under pressure first, though, with Aftershock getting initial possession of the disc as we quickly start into the second round. Aftershock comes very close to a scoring opportunity, but it does not happen. Flux successfully block it, and this will allow for them to maintain, this will allow for them to, more than importantly, keep Aftershock away from their goal for a couple of seconds, but they're going to make another run at it. It's inside of their 3-point zone right now. Nilowik, however, will get the clear back over to midfield, but it might go into the hands of Slin. Yep, should be able to wrap around. No, Cyanister shows up out of nowhere there, denies it, slaps it away, but Slin is still chasing this down, trying to get it away from Cyanister. It will not work, though. He gets a nice clear through the mid-tunnel, only right into the hands of Tutorial Bot, though. He's now got a good opportunity to pass this over to a teammate himself, right to Maddie. Maddie will send it to Slin. Slin's a bit preoccupied, though, so he's not available for a pass right now. Loose disc is set into the open. Someone's going to have to retrieve it. It'll be Maddie for now. But still up in the air about who's going to be able to actually take this towards the goal. Looks like Tutorial Bot will pick it up. Another pass over to Slin, or Maddie, excuse me, but it's blocked by Mr. Scottish Guy, who will once again send it past the midfield.
Yeah, great start here. It's not the strong start we saw of Team Flux in the previous map. So Aftershock is definitely more awake right now, but it is a strong start of both teams. Great defensive there by Team Flux. They did everything to deny that goal of Aftershock. So far, no goal at all, and we only have 3 minutes 20 still on the clock. Aftershock still trying to build up a kill. Oh, that was an easy interception there. He could have easily might even walked a bit with that goal.
Oh,
Look at that, Nilowik with a 3-pointer all the way from his side. I think Aftershock was kind of surprised there because they could have been quicker picking up the disc on the side, but they thought they got all the time they need.
Bit of a lucky toss, to be fair, from Team Flux right there. You could see how slow it was. That was basically just a panic clear that ends up working out as it bounces off the back diamond and goes directly into the goal. So Flux, although probably not intentional, they'll take those all day.
I wouldn't say no to that one.
Yeah. And that'll put them up 3-0. And I mean, a good amount of time getting wasted off the clock in the process of that, too. That was a good 2-minute volley, basically, between the two teams. So Aftershock, all of a sudden, is going to go into a bit of a panic mode to make up for this, to at least try to get a 2-pointer score so they can remain in close contention in the event that Flux should score again here.
Yeah, they need to score a goal right now. Obviously, they're still leading, so even if they would lose that round, there's still a third map for them to turn this whole matchup into their favor. I think that was just like a miss there. The person you've tried to pass is currently not available, but still they had to pick it up. It worked. Scottish Guy had the disc for just a second, but now it's Slin going back out over to Matty. Matty from the mid. Oh, beautifully walked around that goal. And then it was Tutorial Bot 2.0 from the back. That was one to look for.
May have not even needed Tutorial Bot's help there, but he moves in just to secure. And like I said before, that was Aftershock kind of panicking a little bit, getting their 2-pointers so they at least keep things within a one goal's reach should Team Flux now respond with their own goal. But of course, Aftershock is going to look for one more to try and take the lead and shut down this series 2-0 before Flux Flux has a chance to run away with it themselves and steal that spot in the grand finals.
We nearly played down another minute in that previous battle there. So we're running out of time pretty quick on this matchup, I have to say. Not many goals. Just saying that Tutorial Bot 2.0 goes for an easy one here. I think that was the 3-pointer. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So it puts them up to 5 now. So they're building a lead, finally getting back the lead on this match. That was way quicker than everything we saw before.
So that is going to put Aftershock back in control of the matchup. And all of a sudden, unfortunately for Team Flux, they're going to be having to fight from behind once again, because they have now lost their edge. And we'll have to quickly look for some way to get back into the fight here. Once again, starting off with possession. That hasn't meant much, unfortunately, in the few volleys that we've seen them start off with that possession. A quick pass down the field. Puts it into the hands of Nilewick. Nilewick has some trouble taking it further than that, though. It's actually sent back over to Mr. Scottish Guy. We'll then pass it to Cyanister. Back and forth between the two of them. More playing monkey in the middle with Slyn right now. They get it close. Is it going to be close enough to overwhelm the goal? Yes, it will. Another 2-pointer picked up by Flux. And they will now tie it at 5-all with 2 minutes left on the clock.
And this seems to be a very close matchup right now. I mean, I love that short distance passing there that Team Flux showed us and made sure that Aftershock did have the chance to get onto the disc. And then right before the goal, they changed direction of the disc, passing all the way up there to then score a goal. So I think that was one of the best showcases here from short distance passing and how to move around with 3 players onto that goalie.
Well, the launch now out again for both teams. Originally picked up by Matty, he'll send it downfield to Slyn, who quickly releases it to Tutorial Bot. He's alone now is the problem, so he's got to send it back, but it's a missed pass. Loose disc now. Slyn's going to try to quickly retrieve it. He's got immediate pressure against him. Thankfully, Matty's standing by. Now he can go for the quick toss over to Tutorial Bot. Needs an open opportunity. No, tries to go for a goal instead, and it will miss. Sending it back. Still under the control of Aftershock for right now. Pass from Slyn to Matty. Now over to Tutorial Bot. Tries to bank it off the backboard. It's picked up instead by Flux, though, and they'll clear it back to mid.
This might be a chance for Flux there. They might be the first. No, it is Aftershock with that chain move to get closer to the disc and no way quicker, but since the is the one that's intercepting it, might be a chance for Flux. No, they're still not in possession. That was a long shot, missing it by not that much, but Slyn following up. He picks up the disc that just barely missed the goal there, making sure that Aftershock is in the lead again, and they just need to play down in another minute and 13 seconds to get their ticket to the grand final of today.
The Hail Mary on the 3-pointer there from Aftershock, but it works out because it kind of ends up being a pass instead of a goal opportunity, but they can...
Just always say that was what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I suppose, right?
Yeah. Don't tell people that was wrong. That was exactly what they wanted to do.
Well, regardless, it works out to give them a 2-pointer to put them back in control of things for now, and only a minute away from taking this series and lining up that rematch versus Team Gravity in the grand finals. Flux, if they are ever going to wake up, it's got to be right now as they're quickly running out of opportunities to bring themselves back into this. Making a run, however, Scottish Guy passes to Cyanister. He's going to go directly for it, though, against the goalie. It's another 2-pointer. Jukes pass Aftershock, and now ties us up once again at 7-7.
Now, Flux definitely has the chance to tie the series here. It's another 54 seconds, but the disc will be a bit closer to Aftershock with a new launch of the Pets here. So they will be first in possession of that disc. It's quite interesting if they try to play down the clock first and then score, or if they go for an early goal here to get themselves in the lead once again and putting all the pressure on Team Flux. Let's see how this one turns out. They're just waiting for the launch. There it is. It is Matty in position off the desk. First, he's playing it over, obviously, there to Slyn. Slyn picking it up. He had 2 opponents right in front of him. Still worked over to Slyn once again. Seems like Aftershock is in control of that one, missing the goal just by a bit. Giving a chance to Nilewick. Nilewick tries to get rid of the disc, but gets one of the floating islands just a few meters right in front of him.
Oh,
they're
look at this.
launching long. No, that won't hit.
Slyn with a great move right there, jumped off of his opponents, and I think stunned one of them as well, interrupting their slingshot, which would have otherwise allowed them to more than likely score a goal. And now they're going to make the return run. Open goal opportunity, very well going to turn into a 3-pointer too. Massive, massive goal coming in there from Aftershock, and it might have just won them the game. We've got 15 seconds. Flux will respawn with the disc in their possession, but they only have those few measly seconds to respond with their own 3-pointer, and that's only going to guarantee overtime. They still have to reset again after that and look forward to trying it one more time.
And that was just the right move, really putting all the pressure on Team Flux right now with scoring a 3-point instead of going for a 2-pointer. They made sure that Flux has to have that perfect launch, that perfect attempt onto the goal of Aftershock. Otherwise, they will lose this 2-0 here. So Aftershock is in position. Mr. Scottish guy is floating across the whole arena onto the goal of Aftershock. There comes the pass. There could be a chance for a quick 3-pointer, but missing the goal just by some inches. And that means Aftershock gets that rematch against Team Gravity in our big grand final because Flux loses 2-0 against Aftershock.
And so that has it. Like I said before, the rematch is going to be happening, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Aftershock going up against Team Gravity. Team Gravity, of course, having the upper bracket advantage means that they still only need to win one best-of-3 series for their opponents. Aftershock coming in, not only are they the loser from the previous matchup, but now they not only have to take the first best-of-3, but they'll have to do it twice by knocking them out a second time due to the double elimination rules. So Aftershock have made it back, but they still have quite the challenge sitting before them in the form of Team Gravity.
They lost once against Team Gravity. Now they also got that disadvantage with one map. Give us like a percentage of chance you think Aftershock has in the grand final.
I would say it's about a 40% chance. I wouldn't put it too low, but at the same time, with the best-of-3 advantage, it's still very, very heftily swung over towards the side of Team Gravity.
40% is still a lot. We'll see if it will be Aftershock winning the grand final or it will be Team Gravity once again defeating Aftershock, getting the $900. All that and more right after the break.
One city. One stage. One trophy. One champion.
And another kill to find Fallen.
One moment. ESL 1 New York 2018.
Try box. Stairs.
Nothing great ever happened without a witness.
Oh, you guys saw that?
With the power to capture comes the need to share.
Check this.
Followed by the eyeballs and loud mouths chomping at the bit.
That was nuts.
The fate of the game rests in your hands.
Check this out. No.
Oh my god.
Leave nothing to chance. Game, record, and stream without compromise. Only on Intel Core i7.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
We're in for an exciting final, a grand final here at the VR League, brought to you by Intel. It is the last match we've seen tonight, and it is the match that we had in the previous round already. It is Aftershock versus Team Gravity for basically the money. That's it.
All the marbles, so to speak.
Yeah, that's all right.
About 900 of them, I think, right?
Yeah, 900 of them. None of that is for you. Don't even dream
It's
about
unfortunate.
it. You can't have everything. You
good.
either have your beautiful face on the
good thing-
camera or you get the money.
It's a good thing we get paid separately, so.
He's normally getting paid per minute he's on camera. That's why we try to come back to us as often as possible.
No.
It's all on blue, really. It's all on blue. If you're wondering all those breaks and all that stuff coming back to us, it's his fault. All you, man.
It's absolutely false. I won't stand for... I
Explaining
won't stand
esports.
for slander.
We're explaining esports tonight, so if you're ever wondering how it's working, no, it's not per minute. We should get per minute.
That would be very generous, to be fair.
You're filling for 3
That
hours.
rate would be like really low. It'd be like, yeah, it'd be like 50 cents a minute. Like, it stacks up, to be fair. You know, an hour, it's
But still, it's a lot of calculation there.
still, that's, what is it, $30 an hour? Right?
Don't know. I'm really bad at on-air math. Never ask me when it's about numbers, really, man.
Yeah, 60 times 0.5 would be $30 an hour. So,
Yeah, good.
so in theory, we could just do hourly rates at that point, but
Yeah. We're not doing that. No.
no.
Just doing it for the fame and the girls.
Well, we got the final coming up in a few minutes, guys. So
we just tried to cover the time until we get the grand final because we thought we had it right in our hands. That's what we got told when we got him back here, and production basically lied to us immediately. So we're stuck here.
Those scheming production people, them in there off camera. This.
Well, we should shout out to production. We
no
know
clue what I'm saying.
that production is a hard job. It's not that easy, but I think we got the game now. We got the grand final just on our hands. Trying to do the intro here, but it's not
There it
coming. But
is.
there it is. Finally, we got it. Otherwise, I was stuck with that
They even
sentence.
told you on the transition there. Like, I think we got it. There it is.
Sometimes it's about waiting a bit longer, but it is the grand final. It's Team Gravity up against Aftershock, the rematch of a previous match we had today, and there was Team Gravity winning. And obviously, it's not 0-0 in this best of... Oh, it is in this best of 3, but... Team Gravity is coming in with an advantage here because they got one of the best of threes basically on them already, so they won them. Means they score a goal. That's one thing here, so they're going up by 2. But if Team Gravity wins 2 out of winning 2 rounds behind each other right now, they're done. So if Aftershock wins this best of 3, then we go to another best of 3.
The simple way to look at it is it's 2 completely separate best of 3s. Team Gravity only needs to win 1, however. So if they take this one, then we don't need to play the second one. If Aftershock takes this one, we do need to play the second one. And regardless of the winner of that one, they will be the winner of the tournament.
Oh, you made that sound so easy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been doing it for like a month and a half now, so I've had to learn. That and there was another game I used to cast where there was a bunch of double elimination tournaments like this, so you had to get used to explaining that, basically.
I'm still trying to be the best Jason Kaplan replacement you ever had. I know that I'm missing the US accent, and we're not talking about anything else other than the accent that's missing.
Nose is a bit smaller too, to be fair.
Oh, I didn't want to talk about that at all. Jason, if you're listening, this is not me.
He talks about that on broadcast. So I think that's fair turf at that point.
Okay, all right. So Team Gravity is in the lead right now, but Aftershock's doing a good job here, trying to stay close to them. Yeah, they had an attempt here, but beautiful stun there from Team Gravity. They now launch the disc onto the other side, but no one following up so far. There's Virtual Reality Jersey finally getting it, passing it over, but he's missing Afentera there, but he got the possession once again, now passing to Viatrix. They're just waiting for a brand new positioning here to get a launch onto the goal. There it is. Going back onto Virtual Reality, who was in the backside of the goal, scoring once again for Team Gravity. They're going hard here on Aftershock 4-0.
Very nice from Team Gravity so far. In terms of positioning and general zoning across the arena right now, they are winning this game. It's Aftershock that's been constantly just following Team Gravity, chasing them in certain respects to try and steal the disc away. And so far, they've been relatively unsuccessful in this regard. So that's what they're fighting from the back from right now. Team Gravity very much is controlling the pace of this game, even with possession on both of these secondary volleys so far, starting off in the hands of Aftershock. They've been unable to control it for more than a couple seconds here, and it's for the most part has always gone back to Team Gravity. Another chance for that to change once again, though. Great passing routine so far, taking it over to Tutorial Bot just past the halfway mark on the field. Now another pass sends it back to Slyn. He's going to try to score after this, but in comes VR Jersey out of left field there. He'll steal it away and take it back the other direction now.
Yeah, clear advantage here by Team Gravity so far. They're really possession of the disc the most of the time, and they're making sure that Aftershock is not really getting into this game. Even with that, they just launched the disc on the other side. They're probably not being able to follow up. No, that looks like Team Gravity will just get the disc. Oh, wow, he just came in hard.
That wasn't really, that would actually hurt, I think. Right there,
yeah, so. That was more like a full-on body slam, body check, from ice hockey, basically.
That could have started a fight right there. This is ice hockey, basically.
Oh, we're waiting that. I mean, this is VR. They could easily do it like they do in hockey, right?
Been waiting for that to happen in the land, right? You know, someone just rips off the headset mid-game. All right, I've had enough of this. But VR Jersey's picked it up right now. He's going to move in quickly. A nice pass back, however, just before he got stunned there. Puts it into the hands of Afentera instead, who secures the 3rd goal now for Team Gravity. Getting up to 6. Only 2-pointers so far, though, so Aftershock can still pretty easily come back for this. They get a series of 3-pointers running for themselves. But still, it's at least 2 goals that Aftershock are behind by, so they have to start working relatively quickly as we are past the halfway point now on the timer.
Yeah, looking good for Team Gravity so far, and I'm pretty sure one of the admins will now work on LAN rules that say if you start a fight, you're disqualified.
Listen, we can make it work.
A 5-minute penalty, just like they did in Iceland.
We could make some hockey rules where, like, certain things are okay, you know? Just no, like...
No one is allowed to punch the castles, just saying immediately.
No, we're pretty far away, so usually. Yeah. We're in our own box, I think.
Don't worry about that. So Team Gravity is in control of the whole matchup here so far. Viatrix just going, oh, wow. I was like, if that's scoring with that bounce off, that would have been super impressive. Tutorial Bot now trying for Aftershock, but... They're just not even getting it past the midline. I mean, look at that. Team Gravity is there all the time, making sure the disc is not even going close to their own goal.
Yeah, right now they're doing a great job of that. However, look at this, the great control. This could be the first opening opportunity for Aftershock. Should be a 3-pointer, though, as they're going to try to float outside of it. But look at how quickly they get inside. It won't matter, however. But what does matter is that they translate it at least down to a 2-pointer. So Aftershock is still quite the distance away from closing it, and they wasted a good 20, 30 seconds off the clock in the process. So Team Gravity still did a good good job of continuing to run down that timer. They simply just need to outlast now. They don't even necessarily need to score again. As long as they can prevent Aftershock from scoring more than twice in the next minute and a half, they'll be good to take the opening round.
It's just good to see them finally getting back into this match, at least, like getting on the scoreboard, making sure they're still staying close to Team Gravity and that not just let them run away. But it's 1.5 minutes and still at least a 2-possession lead here for Team Gravity. And Gravity had the chance here to be in position off the desk a bit earlier, but they're throwing it away. I'm surprised.
It's going to be set into the open for right now as Aftershock missed that pass. Bit of a bounce back coming in there from Aftershock, though, sends it back into their territory. Once again, a great opportunity presented to them, but they're scrambling for control of the disco. It is going to let someone from Team Gravity get back inside of the goal in time. Is it enough to defend it, though? It's going to be a scramble again. It's sent up to the top of the zone, and a player from Aftershock is going to be punched out. They retrieve it temporarily, but now Team Gravity works together, full 3-man unit, sends it flying, apparently not very far, though, as it just bounces off the wall. Bit of a missed throw there. They'll correct it, but no, bounces off the island. It's enough at least to get it past the halfway mark and into Aftershock territory.
Now look at Vitrix is close. He got the chance for a 3-point and he does it. He was the first to pick up the disc right after halfway through the arena. And then he just went for the throw immediately, putting in a 3-pointer, setting up Team Gravity onto 9 points now. And this is somehow a big lead, especially if we look at the counter. It's 45 seconds.
Really had to thread the needle on that one there. He had multiple players from Aftershock in his direct path. It's actually a pretty amazing that no one from Aftershock was able to grab that, as it seemed like it should have been a pretty easy stoppage, but no, it goes directly through their defenders. Gravity score once again, and now with a 9-2 lead, it's going to be nigh impossible for Aftershock to get back into this before the end of the round. Of course, it's not the end of the series just yet, still only the first round here in the grand finals, but with Gravity pushing ahead, they will be only one more away, potentially, from closing out this entire tournament and taking home the top prize.
Oh, hitting the iron there. Aftershock had the chance for a 3-pointer, but unfortunately connected there with the edge of that goal, so they're still trailing a lot. 20 seconds on the clock. If they want to have a chance, then they need to score immediately now. They try with 3-pointers. They try to walk around the goal. They do it, but that was only a 2-pointer, so that's 9-4 with 15 seconds. Nah, I'm not seeing that happening here. I think, yeah, Team Gravity will take map number 1 and gets them a bit closer, winning the grand final.
Just have to wait again for those last 15 seconds. So let's see if Aftershock even want to play it out at this point. I could see them actually messing with the console there, so they might just reset it now. I think both teams have to confirm it, but
I'm not sure. I mean, they could try to just have a look at what Gravity's
I don't know how they do that. I think it's from that little console there. But yeah, regardless, Aftershock doesn't even come out of the gate, so it's only one of their players that even went out of the launch gate, so they know that this one's over. They're just running the timer down. It's Team Gravity, ladies and gentlemen, that will take the opening round of this series. Up 1-0 now, officially, as of this point. And now only one away from taking the Stage 3 finals for Europe.
Now, that will be an interesting one. I mean, I saw those highlight moments of Aftershock where I thought, like, okay, if they keep doing it like that, they might be able to turn it around. But for most of this map, it was just Team Gravity being in full control of the map, being in full control of the whole arena, the movement around it, the passing was good, the goals were good, and obviously they had that lucky 3-pointer that really helped them out.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially that lucky score that we ended up seeing right there works out really well into their favor. But that one wasn't even necessarily lucky. That was like just really worked out in their favor. It was more their opponents that like really messed up and not catching that one, but that was the one that kind of sealed the deal basically right there. But we are going into the second round now, folks, so let's jump into it and see if Team Gravity get the nice little 2-peat here to close out this tournament nice and quick, or if Aftershock are still going to add a bit more of a contest. They will win the opening. Zhao Slin snatches the disc away from the middle there. As you can see it, he's going to walk right up. Is it enough to score? Yes, it'll rely on the support of the tutorial bot, but it will get it in and allow Aftershock to take the opening lead of the second round.
It will just be hard for them to keep any momentum going and any motivation to win this, because it is a long way for them. Even if they would win this map, it will be 1-1, which means they need to win another map to take this best-of-3 series, and then they would need to win another best-of-3 to actually take the grand finale. So it is a long way. It's more of an endurance game for them right now if they want to win this here. Well, Team Gravity has basically multiple chances of winning this. They either can take it on this map, or they take it on the next one, or they wait for the next best-of-3.
So we've got VR Jersey. Oh, he's going to walk right in. In fact, I didn't think it was going to be that easy, but it works out well for VR Jersey. The near immediate response from Team Gravity secures a second one for them, or their first of this round anyway. 2 points overall, though. Puts it up at 2-2 tied. Once again, both teams at each other's necks, and we're only 20 seconds into the round. So it's been very quick scoring for both teams so far.
A lot of time still available for both teams to make their moves and to score a lot. I mean, it wasn't the highest scoring match we saw today. I mean, the last one was 9 points for Team Gravity. So it's not that dominant performance that we saw in previous matches or even previous play days where someone really ran away with a score. That did not really happen here. But Aftershock, they're still in. They still have it tied here on this map. At least they also want to tie this series, and with winning this, now looking on to a 3-pointer. It's the chance for Metino. He's giving it over to Slinston from the back over to Tutorial Bot, but he's missing it. But Matty jumping in, making sure that they pick it up again, but then Aventura finally getting the disc and launching it off.
It's going all over the place there inside of their zone, but a quick launch from Gravity secures yet another one. There's that speed I was talking about before. They just cannot be stopped. They'll launch themselves right inside. A quick 3-pointer for them now, and they are well in the lead at 5-2 with Aftershock once again fighting from the back.
That was a good one. Even that they managed to get their 3-point off, I wasn't sure if they would get the throw off before getting into the bubble, but they did, which puts them onto 5 right now. So Aftershock has to either answer with a 3-pointer or can only close the gap a bit by scoring a 2-pointer, since they will have possession early on in this round now. But hey, it's still a close match, but Team Gravity just looks super strong right now.
It just seems as well that anytime it comes down to one of these kind of panic clears where it gets sent to pretty much the opposite side of the arena, that Team Gravity is going to win that fight like 9 times out of 10, as we've been seeing examples of throughout not only this series, but the one that we played before in the upper bracket finals too. Aftershock just doesn't have that slingshot capability that Gravity has, where they can send VR Jersey and Viatrex together at a moment's notice, get those two together, and immediately just go at like rocket speed to the other side. The Aftershock just cannot keep up with that right now.
First attempt in that round was on the side of Aftershock, but it was denied by Team Gravity. Once again, Aftershock in position after Gravity had that clear shot of Viatrix. Beautiful stun there, but he's not getting the disc in the end. Look at that. They're still in possession of Aftershock. They're now walking around here on the downside of the arena, now up to the roof and trying it from there behind the wall and doing it slim, just putting it in, getting Aftershock a bit closer. There's only a gap of 1 between Gravity and Aftershock.
Turns into a lopsided scoreline though because of that one. This is only a 2-pointer, so will not keep up with the overall total of Team Gravity. Still will sit 1 point behind, but obviously their next goal, regardless of the points gained from that one, will put them back into the lead. Gravity now has to look for another one on themselves to re-secure an advantage. If they score a 2-pointer, they'll be good, regardless of the points scored by Aftershock, to maintain a tie at minimum. But as well, a 3-pointer will keep them in a dominant lead position, still out of reach of Aftershock completely.
I just love that Aftershock is still holding on to it. Like, they're making sure that they're not losing the momentum, they're not losing the motivation and focus and rhythm, obviously, because they're still in the match. Tutorial Bot picking it up for Aftershock. That's looking good, but intercepted by Viatrix. He had a chance for a quick 3-pointer there. He went for it because they were like, hey, it worked 2 times so far. Why not trying it again? Unfortunately, this time they failed, but Aventura made sure that disc is still in their possession, so not even a chance for Aftershock to score and might even get the lead, because if they would score now a 2-pointer or a 3-pointer, it doesn't matter, they would get the lead. But Gravity has the chance to score on their side, giving it to Viatrix, and Viatrix does it, putting it up to 7 right now, spreading the lead for Team Gravity.
I'll take a 2-pointer off of that one. It's not going to necessarily secure their lead for the time being, but it does keep it in good straits. Even if Aftershock now score a 3-pointer, it will only be a tie. A 2-pointer will still keep them at a 1-point advantage against Team Gravity. So for Team Gravity, they're still feeling secure about themselves. They can play a little bit more defensively now that they've kind of responded with their own goal after Aftershock picked one up themselves. As long as they keep that distance, they're going to be feeling okay about themselves.
Aftershock was struggling with 3-pointers so far, so if Team Gravity would manage to score another 3-pointer right now, putting themselves up to 10, then they could really try to just work with what they have on the scoreline rather than trying to score again. But let's see, Aftershock is in possession. See, they want to score, they want to get closer, but look at Team Gravity, they're just so super quick onto the desk.
It's that 2-man team. It's these guys right here. They're so quick and they get together so well. They have such good team cohesion between the two of them. And look at that, so casual as well. The quick pass over to Viatrex from VR Jersey, another 2-pointer. This is the runaway point. This is where they're going to start to snowball if Aftershock doesn't wake up pretty much immediately, especially since we're already past 2:30 on the timer here. They do not have a whole lot of time themselves to make up for it.
Yeah, less than half the match still available, so 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Might sound a lot, but we know you can easily play down that clock if you struggle to score quick on the first attempt, basically, then sometimes go back and forth, nothing happens, and no one scores. So Team Gravity has the perfect position right now, because if they win this round, it's done. They win the grand final here. They win the Stage 3 finals. So there's only the last qualifier left. But once again, just to remind you guys out there, both these teams are qualified already. They're not playing for that anymore. They're just playing for their own sake and their own wallet, basically. So they don't need to worry. But look at that. Tutorialbot getting back with a quick goal here for Aftershock, decreasing the gap, but still too far away from Team Gravity.
Yeah, it's still over 1 goal they need to be able to secure a lead here. Two 2-pointers will give them just a 1-point lead over Team Gravity. If they get 2 3-pointers, they're in a much better position, obviously, as that will put them at 12-9. That's going to be very hard to accomplish. Only 1 minute and 40 seconds left. And again, Team Gravity now starting out with possession in this round.
It was exactly 20 seconds it took them. We went from 2 minutes and 3 to 1:43. So 20 seconds for them to score. See if they might be being able to do that again. But obviously, it's Team Gravity being in position right now. Long pass onto Viatrix. Viatrix close to the goal already. Can he just do an easy score? And he does. That was like basically no defense at all. He had the goal in front of him. Wasn't concerned at all. Just put it in.
And some nice plays once more from Team Gravity. Really taking charge so far of the matchup here to try to secure themselves a quick win to push them forward. And will take home that prize money with a quick 2-0 against Aftershock. And force Aftershock to have to take home the 2nd place reward.
Now, this time it was only 11 seconds. It was like, oh, they can do it in 20. Let's show the casters that we can do it in less than that. And so they did it in 11. Still, they could be a bit quicker than that. We saw that already. People can score quicker than 11 seconds. But let's see if Aftershock has an answer to that. If Aftershock might have a chance to get a comeback once again. Tutorialbot right now in position in the mid. They're trying to look for positions. They try to build up a big attack. Good one over to Matty. Slin to Matty. That work back to Slin. Slin from the backside, pushing it right in front of the goal. Matty trying, but it was denied by Team Gravity. Another 1 minute and 5 seconds. So if they want to do something, they should do it right now. But Aftershock is in position. Might be a chance for a 3-pointer. Not getting it quite there. But still, with that lead, he wouldn't be... He would not be too sad about it. But Aftershock once again in position 1v1. Oh, denied by Matty.
It was right to Matty, actually, but there's going to be another attempt at it. A little bit too far flung, though. Sends itself way to the top of the arena after it banks off the backboard. Slin picks it up, sends it flying. It's a great long-range 3-pointer, and now it's put them back into it. Massive distance on that one, 54 meters. Very well played by Aftershock. It's brought them back into it. 9-11 is the scoreline. 40 seconds remaining for Aftershock to try and score at least another 2-pointer or a 3-pointer to outright win the round.
And they would need another 3-pointer like that, like really on the last second, just to make sure that Team Gravity doesn't have a chance to have a comeback here, because we saw them scoring really, really fast. So Aftershock still in. I'm really surprised about that. I mean, great to see that, but after how Team Gravity played, it was like, okay, they might run away at one point, but no, not happened yet. This virtual jersey. Oh, both of them just passing like a big train there, walking past Viatrix in possession of the disc. They can play down the clock, and I think that's what they're doing right now.
That's exactly what they're doing. Just floating around, gonna pass it between each other for a few minutes here, just waste as much time as possible, and score another goal while you're at it. Why not?
The other way around, did he from the back? I think it was...
Was it a backhand? I didn't
I think it was backhand.
I couldn't see it from this far back, but...
I think it was. That was basically like in their face. It's like, hey guys, I think it was looking at Aftershock and was just like, oh, I'll put it in like this.
Like, hey guys. Just chucks it in.
Yeah, easy as it is, man. That's like dunking in the NBA.
It's one of those it's one of those things where you like wait for your opponent to look at you to do something. Like notice me.
Yeah, get me that highlights gameplay.
I was thinking of the Mad Max thing. Witness me is the.
So Aftershock in possession, but this will be very hard. It's 8 seconds to go. Team Gravity could win here. They could win the big final. Yeah, that's it. I think it's done and dusted. Team Gravity taking the grand final, and they do so. Round is over 13-9. Aftershock losing again to Team Gravity. Team Gravity winning themselves $900 with a quick 2-0. Obviously, there is no need for them to play another best of 3 because they got the advantage already with coming from the winner bracket. So they're all big winners today.
Absolutely, and not a bad day for their opponents either. They're still going to be taking home 390 euros, so they'll be walking home with something as well. But it's, of course, the guys on Team Gravity is going to be taking on the big prize today.
Yeah, that was a good one. We saw Aftershock coming back through the whole loser bracket, like the lower bracket, getting back another chance against Team Gravity. Unfortunately, once again, it was Team Gravity having the upper hand. So we now know our last winners of the Stage 3 finals. We also know the two teams that qualified, but we were waiting for official confirmation, if I'm not mistaken, on that one. But according to your own research, who should it be?
Let me pull it up again just to see here. I think it was Gamma and Backlash, if I recall correctly. I think those are the two teams that qualified. We did not get confirmation just yet, but I'm about 90% sure that those are the two teams that have now qualified, if I'm reading the bracket correctly.
So, for all the teams that did not make it, there is another chance. There is the last chance qualifier on the 15th of August. Obviously with Blue, and I'm pretty sure that Jason Kaplan will be back by then, so you don't need to worry. You can have that big nose back on your screen and bringing you all the action of the VR League. Why is everyone laughing? Like, even production was laughing. Like, don't do that. Don't say that.
It's just funny in here, you know?
Everyone knows that. I'm a big fan of Jason Kaplan, so don't worry. I will be at home cheering for him and his show. 15th, is there anything to say about the 15th last chance qualifier?
I think it's just going to be a bare-knuckle brawl for those last two spots, basically. So it's going to be some fun competition, and I'm looking forward to it.
So this is it. That was the VR League for today, brought to you by Intel here live from the ESL studios in Cologne. Blue and me, Chirina, brought you all the action. Hope you liked it. Other than that, there's nothing else to say then. Goodbye and see you on the 15th.